Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. It's a green morning, green afternoon, green evening. As far as India is concerned, it's a beautiful green morning with Madam Blossom Kocher, the chairperson of the Beauty and the Wellness Sector Skill Council, and of course, all the dignitaries. And on behalf of the President of the Chamber for Service Industry, Dr. Subhash Goel. Ladies and gentlemen, the August gathering, while extending a very warm welcome to each one of you, let me extend on behalf of the President of the Indian Ex-Services League, Brigadier Inder Mohan Singh, hearty welcome to each one of you right over here in the premises, and a very special welcome to Shri G.P. Upadhyay ji, the Indian Administrative Services Officer, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Sikkim, and all other dignitaries, those who have joined us this morning. With these words, let me just share today's program and today's little bit of highlight. And I would request my President, Dr. Subhash Goel ji, to rise and please come in the front. And, instead of giving, because we don't want to pluck the flowers, we want that the universe, like we human beings have got our own survival, I think the beautiful flowers also have got their survival. So instead of giving flowers, we should present a book, because we are talking about skills on the eve of the International Skills Day. That is on Sunday. Of course, Sunday is difficult to turn out and to come out, but it is 14th of July, Sunday. We request Dr. Subhash Goel ji to kindly present a book to this morning chief guest, G.P. Upadhyay ji. And with these words, Rafiq ji, Mukesh bhai, kindly have, you got to be ready. You got to be ready, beta. This is a book which is being authored, and this talks about the economic prosperity, economic multiplier, and how we can eradicate the poverty, which is authored by our president. Let's clap and, let's put your hands together for him. He has authored it. So thank you very much, G.P. Upadhyay ji, for joining us. I would request Subhash Goel ji, although the Honorable President of the Indian Ex-Services League met us last time also, but we could not give him the book. I would request you to present him also a book, The Tourism, the Treasure, the Passport to the Global Peace, what we have got. It is tourism which can shape the world, which can make the world, which can make world grow. And I think all of us, we can live peacefully world over. We would also request our president to give a token of appreciation to Dr. Blossom Kocher, Chairperson, Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, under the aegis of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Blossom Kocher ma'am also comes from the Armed Forces family. The journey we will discuss in a little while when she will talk about her life story and everything we will be taking into consideration. Ladies and gentlemen, ever young, always young. People say evergreen, always green. But I would say always young, ever young in thought, in process, in vision, in physical structure. That is Padma Shri, Ajit Bajaj, to whom I have seen. We both have grown in the age together. We are meeting today after 28 years. And when I see him, I feel the same smile, same happiness, same warmth, same, zeal, what he has got. He's the president of the Adventure Tour Operators Association, and we extend him a very warm welcome. Ajitji, we look forward to, because a lot of defense people can get into adventure tourism. You've got a bigger canvas and a lot of colors can be painted on that. He'll have a wonderful presentation this morning for all of us. We would also like to invite Shri P.P. Khanna, because domestic tourism plays very important role for all of us. He's the president of the Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India. We extend him a very hearty welcome, very warm welcome, and we present him a token of appreciation, because together we are partner in promotion of tourism of our country. Another gentleman I met this morning, and he told, I'm not that young as you feel. I said, no, you look very young. He says, yes, at heart, I'm very young. He looks very young, at heart very young, in feelings very young. He's taking the vision of the association of the IATO, that is Indian Association of Tour Operators. We would request Mr. Gosai to please come forward. He is the Vice President, Indian Association of Tour Operators. We extend him a very warm welcome, and it's a pleasure. It's a Ravi Gosai, and we extend him. Look, he looks very young. Wow, another clap for him. Yes, great. Yes, wonderful. Thank you. We have also been joined by one of my very close, next to my heart, who gave lots of vision when I spent time in the northeast part of India, Dr. A.M. Singh, the principal chief conservator of the forest and head of the forest, the entire whatsoever structure we have got. He has come all the way from Guwahati. He's based out of Assam. I requested him, why don't you join us in place? People, those are interested about wildlife tourism, nature tourism, ecotourism, green tourism, flora and fauna tourism, wildlife tourism, anything. And Dr. Saab, you will be meeting a couple of people from Northeast also. Ragini Goyal ma'am has come. She has come from Northeast. Ragini ji, please come. Ragini Goyal, she is the brand strategist, and we told her, why don't you help the tourism to be promoted the best possible way? She has come from Siliguri this morning, and she has joined this particular program. We extend her a very warm welcome, and it's indeed a great, great pleasure. We also have, now the world is a global village. We shouldn't call it any different country, but still the continents, they got to merge, they got to come closer. There's a lady who's gracing the occasion this morning, most of the time in Canada, but when it is winter, she comes over here in summers, and she helps us a lot. When I talk about beauty, when I talk about wellness, never ever ask the age of any lady. That is something very important. When you talk about nails and somebody giving the nails culture, nails infrastructure, nails development in the country, along with the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, along with Dr. Blossom Kocher, she is an academician also. She was working for Canadian Tourism also. She was working for Canadian Airlines also. And that is none other than Madam Gurpreet Sibal. We extend her a very warm welcome this morning, and she is joining us over here. Thank you, ma'am. And we would like some of the brother officers and the ladies, they should start their own venture related to beauty and wellness, you along with Dr. Blossom Kocher, ma'am. Okay, we have also been joined from the Air Force side, because people should not feel I'm talking about only Army. It's an Army, Air Force, Navy, and the paramilitary forces, because Dr. Subhash Goelji feels take everybody in a fold, including the BSF, ITBP, and all those. So we have got with us from the Air Force background, Madam Kamaljeet Kaur. She was the principal in the Air Force School earlier, and she has got a long journey. I don't want to tell that she is a TV artist. She is with theater, she is with music, she is with dancing, and at present, she is working with the Chief Minister of Haryana's office, looking after their infrastructure and IT complete component. She is joining us this morning. We extend her a very, very warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we also in the audience have got Chirag Sethi, the Managing Director, Classic Fitness Academy. Everybody wants to remain fit. Everybody wants to run an academy which should be successful. And that should be the vision, and that should be the way we should work out. Sir, you got to have, yes. BK, just help out, sir. Just help out quickly. All the organizers, I would request you, not on the microphone. Yeah. Please help out. Please help out. Yes. We would like to recognize the golden triangle. Any business you want to start, anything you want to start, you need finances. Without finances, you can't manage anything. So it is something very important which we have to take into consideration. There's a golden triangle sitting over here. We have got Mr. Priyank, we have got Mr. Sahil, And I don't want to tell you my name. My name is Gulshan because he is Gulshan. That's why. And three of them together, anybody who wants to start any venture, any business, you need banking support, you need financial support, and you need all kind of an assistance for the loans and everything what has to be taken. So this is the golden triangle like Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. This is the financial part. They take care of it. And we are giving this book to you with a commitment that you will help everybody whosoever wants to start the business the best possible way, getting them the desired loan and the desired help which can come from the industry. That is something very important which we have to take care of. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the camera, there are certain people from Doordarshan. Gupta ji is sitting over here. A book. He was earlier with Doordarshan. He has started his own venture. A great, great person who is always there to support the vision. And that is something which comes very interesting. Gupta ji, thank you. आपने दूरदर्शन में पुराने टाइम में बुनियाद देखा होगा, ऊंचे क्या था हम लोग देखा होगा और बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें देखी होंगी. आज भी ऑडियंस में आपको एक अलग से नजर आएंगे एंड दैट इज अभिनव चतुर्वेदी हु वाज द मेन कैरेक्टर. नाम क्या था, नाम बताइए. हाँ. he has grown over the years. And it is 35 years back journey when I take it to 40 years. Okay. 7 July he has completed 40 years. Can you believe it? 40 years, beautiful journey. और दूरदर्शन में उस समय वही एक प्रोग्राम आया करता था जिसको सब देखते थे, सब एंजॉय करते थे. And that is Nanne. And that was, the kind of a program which we worked out, a wonderful strategy, all of us together. I would request my president to say a few words on this occasion and give you formal welcome right over here to everybody. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Sir, before me, Sudhir Sokti, my younger brother from Delhi Tourism. You have to yet, you might have laid down the arms over there, but when you talk about public relation, corporate communication, the tourism has to go on. It is ongoing. It is ongoing. This book is to be presented to you as well, and you would help us further. And all sitting in the August gathering, hearty welcome to each one of you. And I hand you over to Dr. Subhash Goyalji, the President for Chamber for Service Industry.
Good morning. I think, firstly, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude and sincere thanks to all the speakers who have been kind enough to come here at a very short notice. They're all my personal friends. People are wondering, in fact, last time also we had a very big function that was mainly for JCOs and all. And that time we had a huge gathering where we didn't even have place to stand. Thanks to our president of the Ex-Servicemen League, General Saab, he has been very kind to have given us this opportunity. Brigadier Inder Mohan Singh ji, who's the president of this facility. Basically, our idea is to do something different. In the Chamber for Service Industry, we want to focus on the ex-servicemen, whether they are from Air Force, whether they are from, Army, or they are from Navy, or they are from paramilitary forces. Because today, if this country is safe or this country has achieved whatever, is because of our armed forces. And we all can do our business, we all can run around because we know our borders and our oceans are secure. With 7,500 kilometers of coastline and 74% of the Himalayan mountains and having two hostile neighbors, right, it is very important that we have a very strong army, Air Force and Navy, our armed forces. Well, today the subject is that opportunities which are there in the tourism and hospitality and wellness industry for the armed forces. Now this is being recorded and it is on YouTube. it will through Brigadier Saab, we have about 90 lakh ex-servicemen, and I'm sure we'll send the message to all of them. It was what I how I started. I started my business from a scratch, right? Total investment was about 10,000 rupees and one table and one chair. Because in the service industry, whether it is tourism or it is hospitality or it is insurance or it is even real estate or it is in the stock exchange, what you need is a brain, hard work, and discipline. And there is no substitute to hard work. All those men who became great did so not by a sudden flight. They, when their comrades slept, toiled upwards in the night. So, our armed forces, there is no one else in the world who can compete with our armed forces, in hard work, in discipline, and in motivation. And they remain motivated throughout their life, and they are excellent material. In fact, I have in my company one captain who had just joined us, and today he's the CEO of our charter company. Because these people are very honest, very sincere, very hardworking, and fully motivated and very disciplined. All that they need to know is a little bit of salesmanship and a little bit of marketing. And with that, they can be the best CEOs, they can be the best managers, and they can be the best entrepreneurs. In our last meeting also, we were motivating people to start their own businesses in the travel and tourism industry. Well, my company, Stick Travel, is GSA for 13 international airlines and 6 cruise companies, and we are a 100% B2B company. So if anyone wants to start a travel company, we can guide them, we can help them, and we can give them a commission which we give to all the travel agents. And it's a very easy business. All that you need to do is you need to work hard, and you need to have a good data bank, and you need to have thorough knowledge of the product. Because if you're not convinced about your product, you cannot convince others. I don't want to take more time. I'll be here for interaction with everyone, and I have a few more books. Those who have not been able to get it, I'll give it to them during the break. And I am very keen that this country is one of the greatest show on planet Earth. There is no other country which is the birthplace of 4 great religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. Islam originated in the Middle East, but Sufism, the spiritual side of Islam, flourished in India. Now, Saudi Arabia, after Hajj, makes a lot of money, after oil, makes a lot of money from Hajj. So if Saudi Arabia can do religious tourism, now with Ayodhya being there, I think there's a lot of opportunity for religious tourism for all of us. So what we need to do is, we need to, focus. If in our areas we have certain opportunities, necessity is the mother of invention. Whenever there are challenges in services or anything, I think there's a huge opportunity. With these words, I'd like to thank Dr. Gulshan Sharma for the introduction he has made. And I'd like to thank Brigadier Saab for giving us the opportunity. And we hope that we'll continue doing more and more activities for the ex-servicemen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Chamber for Service Industry, Dr. Subhash Goyalji. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the first speaker and the main presentation of this morning, We would like to felicitate and we would like to recognize two of the dignitaries, those who have joined us. We have got with us in the audience over here Major General Ajay Singh Chauhan, SCSM. He's the Managing Director, Army Welfare Placement Organization. He has joined us. He's taking care of the entire, the Indian Army when we talk about the entire placement process. He has also joined us this morning. We extend him and present him with the book with a commitment, sir, that we have to promote tourism and we have to bring in more and more our officers, Jawans, and JCOs in the tourism related projects. We have also been joined by Mr. Sanjay Bablani, the country head for Blueberry Travels. We extend you a very hearty welcome, very warm welcome. Thanks for joining us, and it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me roll in. I think everybody wants to talk smart, walk smart, look smart, and whatever best we can do in this universe, on this planet, in this lifetime. So your internal beauty, external beauty, your mental wellness, your physical wellness, your environmental wellness, all that is very important. And of course, nowadays, post-pandemic, financial wellness also. Because if financially you're not strong, I keep learning a lot of good things from Brigadier Sir, because financially I have to learn basically how to do a good business. I'm not a good businessman, but he gives a lot of tips, what exactly is to be done, how it is to be done. And reading 4 newspapers every day, he sends me a small clip. This is a new project coming up. Why not we should think about our own armed forces? That is the spirit which I'm looking. It's a God-sent opportunity that I found a person and we have clicked so well. We are doing this like a hand and glove together. And now I have found General Chauhan also. I think with him also, a lot of new things will be coming up. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me extend a very warm welcome to Armed Forces background, lady coming from the Armed Forces, husband being from Indian Army, Dr. Blossom Kocher. She's the chairperson of Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council. One quiz question before I hand over to the audience, ma'am, please come. Before I hand you over, anybody who can tell me how many sector skill councils are there under Ministry of Skill Development, Government of India? Anybody? Anybody? Yes. 40. Okay. Next. 33. Okay. She is above margin. You are far below the margin. It is 38. There are 38 sector skill council. So the army has got the correct information. So giving the correct information, correct time to the correct audience is very important. With these words, let's come to Dr. Blossom Kocher, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So good morning, I should say. Good morning, all the dignitaries, and I would really like to thank Dr. Gulshan Sharma for this invite to be here today to talk to you all about the career of beauty and wellness. Now, to start off with the beauty and wellness, beauty, and like we all know, I think firstly, I would like to congratulate you all, Mr. Goyal and everyone else, on this wonderful thing that you all keep having regularly and on telling us how to start entrepreneurship, and for all those wonderful people over here who are here to help those who want to go into entrepreneurship and start on entrepreneurship. Now, one of the major ones that I find, of course, the men are there. We don't have so many, we have the women, and I'm sure a lot of women are listening to us also. Beauty, we say, is a woman's business, beauty and wellness. But I must say, it's the men that are very important in this beauty and wellness sector skill council, because whatever we are doing,
The reason for this is that we can do the skilling. We do the skilling, we do the other things. But I know that because I've come from an army background and my husband was there, and I'm going to keep telling you my story now. He was the one who got me into all the strategy, the financial, the how to set about the whole thing together. He was a very, very important part. He was the business part of me, and I was the creative part. And that is really what we needed in business and in beauty. And when I go around and train and see people, I really tell them that you must bring your family into this business. If you bring your family into the business, you see it is going to go and you're really going to be a success. Okay, so now let's go on with my thing. Now, of course, I am a coffee planter's daughter, and I think that's how I got the name Blossom. And everybody used to ask me, how did you get the name Blossom? Was it because after you started your business? I said, no. I got the name Blossom because my father, I think when we wait for the coffee, we need the blossom. So that is how I got the name Blossom. But when I finished my education, what happened? I did my college and everything. And I said, and I had this hobby, this liking, this passion to make people look good. I used to love to do hair. I used to love to tell them everything. And when I told my parents that I wanted to go into beauty, it was into beauty and hair cutting. It was a definite no at that time. It was many, many years ago. And they said, after all this education, you can't go into beauty. But I was very lucky. I met my husband who was in the army. And of course, I met him again on the golf course. I hit him with a golf ball. This is a very interesting story. And, and after that, I was so worried. Oh God, what has happened? Because, hitting a person with a golf ball is no joke. And I kept digging and finding out. And that is how I met my husband. And when we got married, he was, of course, posted in staff college. And I had taken up beauty as a hobby. So I used to do beauty and hair as a hobby, And when we went there, the club manager in staff college in Wellington, the club, asked him, do you know any lady who would like to, take up this little place in the club, a room in the club to do hair and beauty? So he said, give me a minute. And he came back to me and he said, would you like to do? I said, yes. So he said, but you have to do hair also and beauty. I said, okay. So then what happened? So we set it up. Now in Wellington, I couldn't get anything fancy. So it was like Mr. Goyal was saying, there's a chair and a table and we put up a mirror. And then I had to go to Coimbatore where, that was closest, where we bought all the products. And you know how much? It took me only about 2,500 to start this venture. And so we started it. And then what happened? I did this whole thing. I had no product. When I started, there was no product. Before the product came the hair cutting. Now, I wasn't, what happened at that time in India? We did not have good hair designers because it was the Chinese that used to, rule. But I had to learn now to cut hair. Now, nobody would give me their hair to cut naturally because I had to first prove myself. And hair is a very important thing. So I went to this friend of mine who was in Bangalore, and I told this friend, I have to learn to cut hair. She said, where are you going to learn? I said, I know something, but I have to practice it. So she said, called her son. She said, get a haircut from her. He said, no way. I can't get my haircut. She doesn't. I said, okay, I'll give you 20 rupees and cut your hair. I got it and it came out well. And he went and told all his friends, there's a lady in my house, she'll give you 20 rupees and cut your hair also. So that is how I went into hair cutting, and it was really good and everything else. So I started that. But when I went into the facials over there, I found this is how it grows. Okay. So you have to take risks. You have to go on. Main thing I say, when anybody wants to start a business, you have to have that passion. You have to want to do it. You have to want to succeed. Okay. So then the creams that were available there were only Charmis and Pond's cream. Now, I can't give a facial with Charmis and Pond's cream. Nobody will come to me for a facial. So that is how I started making. I remember my mother, she was on the estate. So when we had a problem with the cold, with our skin chapped and with other things, she used to make a cream. So I started making the cream. Then I had to, put in a perfume in that cream. And I again was very lucky to be on the Nilgiris. All the essential oils were there. So I took these essential oils, which smelled good, put it in, put a drop in, and I found not only that their skin was looking good, but they also said, what did you do? My cold has gone. And then they'll say, what did you do? I slept better. Or, that because these essential oils, they are essential oils which really work on your system, and they work in three ways. They work on the body, for beauty. They work on the mind if you want to relax and you want to, feel good, or you're feeling sad, you want to feel better, you want to feel happy. And they also work for any stress-related ailments. For example, very good for colds, eucalyptus, as we all know, very good for colds. They're very good for sleeping, like lavender is excellent to sleep, and you can go on using this. Lang Lang is making you feel good and very aphrodisiac. So, and these are beautiful smelling oils, all available in India and in the Nilgiris. So that's how I started. Now, while I was there, I met a Ved. Now, aromatherapy is part of the Ayurveda. If you go into the Rasayana Tantra, that is the book of rejuvenation, you will find aromatherapy is there, very much part of the Ayurveda. So, but it is the essential oils. Here in Ayurveda, we do the plants and we do the others. Here we are using the pure essential oil, where there we take 10 grams of a 100-gram jar of cream. When you put in a 1 drop of essential oil, it's equivalent to the same thing. So we used to use that. And I met this Ved who taught me all this stuff over there while I was in this thing. And I must say, really, thank you. I must say thanks to the army wives and the army. And that's why anything y'all ask, I'm always there to do, not just for the army, the Air Force, the Navy, because that was where I started this whole thing. So from there, I went on with this when my husband was posted in Delhi. So it all started as a hobby, without much expenditure, but doing, like he was saying, you have to do a lot of work, you have to do a lot of research, and then the thing comes through. Then from there, I went, of course, abroad, France, London, everywhere, learned their systems, and then we put in us and taught them our system, the Ayurvedic system of aromatherapy. And that is how we got into the product. Now, when I had to get into the factory, that was another thing. My husband, of course, he was in the army and posted out, and we had started. So from there, I started into education of hair, because hair was something that wasn't there. So we brought the education down from Pivot Point. It's an international organization in 80 countries all over the world. We brought that and taught them. It's a beautiful system. It is, you can tell them 90 degrees, this, that, and you can really get a haircut done. And so that was how we educated a whole lot. There are everyone who's in the biggest jobs in India are there, educated from here. And from there, we went on to the factory. Now that factory, my husband was not going to risk. He said, where am I going to put in this? And at that time, no loans. It was very difficult to get loans, to go in there, to get a loan, to put in things. And being an army officer's wife and from the army, it was absolutely impossible. So I had to first prove, I had to first prove that I could get these creams and get these creams sold. So what I did was, I took 1,000 from him and put this 1,000 I made creams at home, put it in a little jar and put a label. I'll never forget. I used to go to Chandni Chowk so many times in Sadar Bazaar, put it in, put the label, and then start. As I used to do the facials and we used to do the teaching, we started giving these creams. And from 1,000, it became the cream of course. The people bought it. I got 2,000 and then 3. So I didn't have to ask him for any more. And by the time he came back on leave after 1 year, I had quite a lot of money. It was such a lot that he said, okay, so now we can see about investing in you. And of course, again, family comes in. So the family and everything, it was not a big investment again, a small investment with just a few machines. And that is how we started. Now, once you start making your cream and packaging, that is easy. But to sell it further, to market it, to get it passed by the drug authorities. And I wanted this to be an aromatherapy product, not just a normal product. Because I always say to anyone, if you're going into a business, try to find a niche. Don't go into something that is with everyone. So that is how we had to go and get everything done. And the whole thing was organized. And I again, very lucky. We had the Miss World came to India at that time. And Amitabh had chosen me and my company. They're going to, to be their hair and beauty partners. And there I launched the product, made them use it. So it was fun. And that is how this went on into it. And when we started, like I'm always trying to say, there was nothing. There wasn't education in India. There wasn't product in India. There was nothing. Now, with our Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, you can get the education from everything. There's education right from the beginning to the top. You get nail education, which is there from Gurpreet. You get makeup. You get hair. You get beauty. You can get aesthetics. And also, apart from that, we have yoga, which is doing very well. The other thing is and we have the industry supporting this, which is nice. So you can get any help you want. And of course, then you can go on further and also to help you to set up business management and other things. That is also there and available. And the certification that you get is Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, recognized by the government. And so to get loans, to start your business, it becomes much, much easier to do. So this is something that I really feel that you can take up. Now, when you take it up, you can be a makeup artist. You can be a nail technician. You can start your own business with that. You can be a beautician. You can be a hair designer. You can be anything. And it's very well paid. And when I started education, I found that education was only, we used to only have housewives coming in first. After the housewives came younger people. And then when the men started coming in, I knew, wow, this is going to be an industry. And it really is. And now even in the beauty and wellness, we've started barbering. Now, I don't say all men should go in just for barbering, but you must know what it is, how it is, what it is. Anyone who starts a business, you must do the skilling first. From the skilling, then go into it. So you'll never be let down, because I knew a person who just opened this beautiful salon, got all these hair designers and beauticians. In about 2 years, they all left and started. She had to close her salon because she did not know. You have to know everything about the skill if you have to go in. You have to have a passion. You must be ready to take risks. And if you can't meet anything hand-on, don't give up. Go on, because you will find when you give up, sometimes it's just that next step that is going to take you to success. Never give up. The other thing I always say, take your people with you, take your family with you, and always go into something where you can help people. If you go into something where you can help people, you are never going to fail. Okay? Money will come, but first help. And then you will find things coming. And now we have yoga, which is excellent for wellness. And we in the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council are, really educating you all. And yoga is really something that is very good, not just personally, but also to teach and to go on and do things. This is the most wonderful profession, not just for women, but also for men, I really say. And men, you have to, and husbands, you all have to help your wives. Very important. Because the wives, they definitely need that help and they can go through. And especially getting the loans. Oh my God, that is the most difficult. A woman, I know when I teach these people in the villages and elsewhere, rural areas, to get a loan is so difficult, for them. So those who are helping with all the finance, thank you so much. And please, this is something really, make getting loans easy, because then it's going to be easy. And this is really profitable. It's going to make the country grow. It's going to make all of us grow. It's going to make the family grow. And it's the most wonderful profession ever. And it's the most glamorous profession also. I love that. Okay, thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Blossom Kochel, chairperson of the Skill Council for Beauty and Wellness, coming from the armed forces background, did extremely well. I met ma'am somewhere way back in 1993, I still recall. And that time, Mother of Sindhya ji was very keen. And that time we were working on to cultural tourism taken abroad, and we had a troupe of about 150 people, India's cuisine, India's dances, India's music, India's fashion and everything. And that time with Blossom Poacher ma'am, your Sushmita Sen and Ashwarya Rai and Sanchita Tyagi and Shivani Wazir. I don't want to remember more names. I think that's enough. So, so much was being done right from that time. So it's a long way, and Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council can play a very important role for all of us. Any segment, any area which we wish to choose, we can take it up, we can plan it up. And as I mentioned initially, you needed a hand holding, because three things which come to my mind very religiously. Number one, no defense officer should ever spend single rupee of the pension or whatever you get on retirement for your own resettlement. Never, ever. Number two, because this is my own journey, that's why I'm sharing, because I served Fauj also and I served civil also. Second part, never start your business immediately on retirement. Never, ever start your business immediately on retirement. Work with somebody for 3 to 4 years, learn the tricks and learn the profession, learn what exactly is there. Thereafter, you get into some venture, you would be a success story. These are the tips which I have got over the period. So with these words, I convey my deep gratitude and thanks to Dr. Blossom Kochel ma'am. And she had been very kind to join us this morning. Ma'am, memento we will give a little later. Otherwise, you will be leaving us. So I would request you to stay for some more time, because some people may feel like asking you certain inputs. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to the world of adventure, whether it is aerosports or water sports or winter sports, soft adventure or hard adventure, whatever you want to talk about. Last 30 years journey, when I have been seeing the Padma Bhushan, our Ajit Bajaj, the president of now Adventure Tour Operators Association, I would request him to come, share his vision. His daughter also has followed his footsteps, and how she had gone on to Mount Everest and other areas. I would request you, today is a day of stories. Ajiji, you should also talk your little bit of a lifetime story. That would really be nice. That would really be good. Rafiq kindly take on the presentation over there. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a very warm welcome to my friend Padma Bhushan Ajit Bajaj, joining us this morning, President of Adventure Tour Operators Association.
Good morning. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here this morning. Well, can we have the first slide, please? I'm going to begin by sharing my journey. So when I graduated from college, all my friends, my batchmates were getting real jobs in the real world. And when I told them that I'm going to follow my passion and make it my profession, they thought that I had lost it completely. I joke about this, but this is how I commute to work. Well, sometimes anyway, this is a 400-meter zip line that takes me across the Ganga River to a campsite we run called Leopard Heights near Rishikesh. I'd like to begin by saying that I belong to a Fauji family as well, and both my elder brothers are retired general officers from the Great Indian Army. I was very lucky. I got an opportunity to run 50 courses and expeditions for the Indian Armed Forces, including our special forces. So what you see here is a rafting expedition with the Para Brigade. This was down the Zanskar and Indus River, way back, straight out of college, 1990. Next, please. This quest for adventure has taken me down some of the wildest rivers on the planet, rafting and kayaking. This is the Çorum River in Turkey. Next, please. On a ski expedition, a cross-country skiing expedition to the geographical North Pole. Next, please. This is an Antarctic storm on a ski expedition to the very bottom of our planet, the geographical South Pole, 90 degrees south latitude. Next, please. Scuba diving holiday with the family. Next, please. And on a cross-country ski expedition across the Greenland ice cap along the Arctic Circle with my daughter Dia. Next, please. Again, on a ski expedition to the geographical North Pole. So when you are skiing to the North Pole, you ski on a very thin layer of ice on the Arctic Ocean, and sometimes you can fall through. And this is what actually happened. One of our team members actually went in to what we call an open water lead. And this, what you see here, is a rescue. This is the treacherous second step on Mount Everest from Tibet, from the north side. And you can actually see a frozen body below. And the reason I'm saying this, next please, that is the Indian tricolor on the summit of Mount Everest with my daughter Dia. So we got there as a daughter-father team. The first, again, we don't climb for records, but the first in the world to climb from the harder north side. There was a message that we wanted to convey our fellow citizens. The first, of course, that the time for our country has come. We Indians, we've got to work hard no matter which field we are in. And we've got to aim to be the best, not just in India, but on the planet, whatever field we do. And I think over the years, we've seen that Indians achieving just about the pinnacle of success in any field we are in. And the second message, of course, was for our daughters. As parents, we have to support our daughters, and our daughters, given an opportunity, can climb the highest summits. There is no summit too high for them, and they can take our country to the next level, to the next orbit. Next, please. Well, over the years, when I got into adventure tourism, adventure was considered synonymous with daredevilry, death-defying kind of stuff. This was in the 80s. People have realized now that done properly, adventure can be very safe. Safer, for instance, and I joke about it, than sometimes driving around the National Capital Region. Next, please. So, you see, a lot of the adventures that we've done it as professional adventurers, whether it's kayaking or rafting or cross-country skiing. But when we are responsible for other people, taking them on an adventure, that is a completely different ballgame altogether. Here you see a rafting expedition down the Ganga River. Next, please. And over the years, people have realized that adventure tourism is big business. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our dear friend, Mr. Rajiv Mehra, President of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. Great to have you here, Rajiv ji. Yeah. So people have realized that adventure tourism, according to pre-pandemic projections, was to be $1 trillion industry. Next, please. And what we have in our country is mind-blowing, actually. That photograph is of Unmingla Pass. That is the highest motorable pass in the world, just over 19,000 feet. So India, as you know, we've got 73% of the Himalaya, a culturally diverse Himalaya in our country. We've got every conceivable geographical terrain. We are a biodiversity hotspot. The World Economic Forum, they rate India's biodiversity as amongst the 10 best in the world, right? We've got a 7,000-kilometer coastline. We've got islands like Lakshadweep, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We've got it all in our country. Next, please. But still, what we've seen in our country, the harsh reality is what I like to call the ban cycle, right? Things get popular, there's very little regulation, there are accidents or over-tourism, which leads to a ban. Right? Next, please. And sadly, on the Adventure Tourism Development Index, our ranking is sadly 86 out of 163 countries that were surveyed. Time for us to wake up to this huge potential and to unleash it in a very responsible manner. Next, please. So our vision is very clear. We want to see India ranked as one of the 10 best adventure tourism destinations on the planet. And I believe that we can definitely get there. Next, please. So a lot of work is being done with the government of India. We've got now a national strategy for adventure tourism. There is a national board for adventure tourism, for sustainable tourism. You see, one of the big worries today about adventure tourism is that there are very few companies that are licensed as adventure tour operators, right? That is the need of the hour. So with this model law, it will become mandatory for any operator to be licensed. So this is work in progress. We've also got adventure rescue centers coming up in the national adventure hubs of the country. We are working on things like satellite phones for adventure operators, insurance, and so on. Next, please. So adventure tourism is on mission mode as well. A lot of states have realized that adventure tourism is the best way to generate employment in the hinterland, and also, when it comes to sharing the economic benefits of tourism with rural India, there's nothing better than adventure tourism. So our states are now what we are suggesting to all our state governments is to map out their assets, to come up with an adventure policy. Because a lot of times, let me give you my example. I showed you a photograph of the zip line, right? It took us 3 years to get permission. There was no precedent, right? And we did it clean. I'm very proud to say this, well, with states getting policies for adventure tourism, giving soft loans, giving incentives to operators who want to get into adventure tourism, this will make a big difference. And we need a lot of synergy at a national level. Today, if you go from one state, say you go from Himachal Pradesh to Sikkim, we are in the same country, but it's like having to reinvent the wheel. Next, please. The two things that have been approved by the government of India, and this is going to be a game changer for the country, for adventure tourism, and represents a huge opportunity, especially for those of you who are just retiring from the forces, right? These are the Indian mega trails. Next, please. So 2 mega trails have been approved. The first one, these are walking trails. The Ganga Heritage and Nature Trail. This will start from Gomukh, the source of the Ganga River, and go all the way down to Ganga Sagar, a walking distance of maybe approximately 2,700 kilometers. So we are suggesting homestays along the way, signposting, but we are suggesting that we want to make this a global example of getting it right. Right? So the Ganga is, in a way, the river, the soul of our very country, and a walking trail along the Ganga River. You could either walk the through trail, so walk the entire trail, or walk sections of it with a lot of benefit to the local population. So whether they set up homestays or set up tented camps along the way. And these mega trails could also become hubs for responsible adventure tourism. Next, please. This is the Western Himalayan Mega Trail, which has also been approved. So starting from the Jammu region of Jammu and Kashmir, maybe perhaps near Patni Top or along the Chenab River, going through Kashmir, through Ladakh, through Spiti, Himachal Pradesh, and coming into Uttarakhand and finishing at the Tri-Junction area. But what we are also suggesting is to expand the scope of the Western Himalayan Mega Trail, take it through Nepal, through Bhutan. Bhutan already has a Trans-Bhutan Trail, which is 405 kilometers, and into Arunachal Pradesh. Such a trail, I think, would be in India's strategic interests as well. There is a lot of cartographic aggression by our neighbors. We are all aware of that in places like Ladakh, in places like Arunachal. And such a trail will help strengthen our national claim. We are also working with the Great Indian Army on border tourism. This has become a national priority. And I'm proud to inform you that we've started doing some fan trips. And in a spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, all the national associations, whether it's the Domestic Association, whether it's the Indian Association of Tour Operators, the idea is for all of us to work together on promoting tourism to some of these border areas. Now, we are looking at 7 pilots. We met with the Deputy Chief of the Indian Army, General Rakesh Kapoor. We are looking at Tooting, where the Brahmaputra comes in. We are looking at we are looking at Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh, the Tri-Junction area in Uttarakhand. That can also have a lot of scope for religious tourism with Adi Kailash, right? And Om Parvat. We are also looking at Demchok and Hanle, where the Indus River enters India. We are looking at the Siachen Glacier and Nadabet in Gujarat as well. Next, please. So again, when it comes to adventure tourism, there's a term, I'm sure all of you have heard of it from the manufacturing sector, called Six Sigma. Six Sigma was started by Motorola in the manufacturing sector. Now, in Six Sigma, you could accept 3.14 defects per million, right? But we've coined this term called 7 Sigma, which means we cannot accept a single defect. A defect means an accident. When I'm responsible for the lives of others, there is an inherent risk in adventure tourism. My systems, my processes, my equipment has to be so good that we follow a 7 Sigma approach to adventure tourism. Next, please. So we manage risk by following what we call the 6 Gs, the group risk ethos, our guides, gear, guidelines. Guess is our adventure tourists, and geographical conditions. Next, please. So a group risk ethos is about companies ensuring that they follow the very best practices anywhere in the world, right? Next, please. That includes standard operating procedures, training of our teams in adventure. Next, please. Our adventure guides. I think in India, we've got some excellent adventure guides, right? At par with international standards. But we are working on this with the Government of India, Ministry of Tourism. We've started in all the adventure hubs of the country. We've started training programs for our adventure guides, where we train them in things like first aid, CPR, communication skills, leadership, weather, and so on and so forth. And also risk mitigation in the outdoors, and a strict leave no trace policy. Next, please. Gear, equipment. So till the Bureau of Indian Standards comes up with some guidelines for adventure equipment, we are suggesting that we use equipment which is imported, and we use the equipment which is the very best you can get anywhere in the world. Next, please. Guidelines. So the adventure tour operators of India, we've come up with the adventure tourism safety guidelines covering 29 verticals, right? And the Ministry of Tourism have sent these guidelines to all state governments, and these have been adopted universally in the country. Again, the idea is to have a set of guidelines to reduce risk, right? Next, please. Yes, these are our adventure tourists. It's always important for us as adventure tour operators to ensure that they are physically up to the task of whatever adventure we are taking them on. They have the right equipment, clothing that they bring along. They have the right experience. So communication with our guests is absolutely critical. Next, please. Geographical conditions these days with global weirding, the weather patterns have changed. And I think as adventure operators, it's very important for us to ensure that we always respect the weather conditions we have forecasts, and that in case things change, we are flexible enough to change our objectives as well. So if we are on a trek and the weather conditions are bad, we should have the flexibility to tone down the adventure. Next, please. That's how we measure risk. And again, it's important. You see, 80% of adventure tourism is soft adventure tourism. These are activities that anybody can do, right? And that's also 80% of the market for adventure tourism as entrepreneurs, right? So if you're looking at getting into adventure tourism, soft adventure tourism is 80% of the market. These are activities like trekking, river rafting, and so on, that anybody can do with a little bit of training, right? Next, please. We do detailed risk assessments of any adventure activity we are getting into. Next, please. And always have an emergency action plan. The two things I've learned from the army, one is that the more you prepare in peace, the less you bleed in war. So the more systems and processes you have for anything and everything, the less the chances of things going wrong. Next, please. We also have learning incidents or near misses, as we like to call them. And let me explain this to you. This actually has come up from the chemical industry. So they figured that for every 1,000 near misses, there were 100 minor accidents involving first aid. And for every 100 accidents, there were 10 major accidents involving hospitalization and so on. And for every 10 major accidents, there was one fatal accident. So where do you focus your energy on? On the learning incidents, so we can learn from them and ensure that there are no major accidents or fatal accidents. Next, please. Again, partner diligence is very important in adventure tourism. We do have partners. Very recently, the company that I run, we operated trips up in Ladakh. So we do use local transporters, local guides. It's absolutely important that you do your due diligence on the partners that you're going to work with. Next, please. And a very strict leave no trace ethos. That's a snow leopard sighting. I was very lucky to see one just 2 weeks back in Ladakh, in the Hemis National Park. You see, in a way, we all are ambassadors for the great outdoors as adventure operators. And we not only have to protect our wilderness areas, as I tell my fellow adventure tour operators, these beautiful wilderness areas, it doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to us. And this is up to us to leave these areas clean and pristine for our future generations. Next, please. So we do follow the 7 principles of leave no trace strictly in all our adventure operations. This is a big part of our training that we do. Next, please. And for all of you looking at getting into adventure tourism, I would suggest that you take a look at the sustainable tourism criteria of India. Yeah, you can Google it. And next, please. Again, a lot of standard operating procedures for everything that we do. Next, please. And the wow factor. This is what separates, I would say, the good companies from the excellent companies. Yeah, that's an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama for a student group in Dharamsala. But again, not only should, as adventure tour operators, you do a great job with fantastic logistics, the best equipment, excellent adventure guides, but also come up with ideas that make it the trip of a lifetime. Next, please. And again, I think since as adventure operators, we work in the very remote corners of our country. I think we have to be a force for good in nation building. As adventure operators, this is a project we started called Planet Harmony, where we bring in children from the conflict areas of India. So places like some of the Northeast, Kashmir, Naxal affected areas, and through adventure tourism, integrate them into the mainstream and send them back as ambassadors of peace and peaceful coexistence. Next, please. Well, that's the rule of the great outdoors. Next, please, leave only photographs, take only footprints. That was the rule. Now it's changed. Take only experiences, leave a lower footprint. And I'm referring to a carbon footprint here, and happier communities. Next, please. Nature definitely drives us, and the great outdoors is our office in adventure tourism. Next, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I have a few copies of the adventure tourism safety guidelines in case any of you would like to take a look through. They are here. So please feel free. And these are available online as well. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ajit Bajaj. That something is really scintillating as far as adventure tourism part is concerned. So, ladies and gentlemen, the small shifts a little bit we will have in between. I have requested the president of Indian Ex-Services League, as well as our General Sahab, Major Ajay Singh Chauhan, the MD for the Army Welfare Placement Organization, to give little breather to the presidents and other association people, those have come. Let them express their views. We listen to them, what they have got to share, their vision, their offer for the armed forces. And thereafter, we would request you, sir, kindly to take it on. With these words, I would request Shri Ravi Gosai, the Vice President, Indian Association of Tour Operators, to kindly share with us. Okay, we have also been joined this morning by Shri R.K. Suman, Regional Director Tourism, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Sumanji, we present you a book of Dr. Subhash Goyalji, which he has authored with regard to tourism. Please come forward. Come over here. Aye, Sumanji. And ladies and gentlemen, the secret is he may not share. He also comes from the armed forces. He's the ex-Air Force, and he moved in the vertical of the Ministry of Tourism. I'm so very happy. Sumanji, you can come and you can share the dais over here. And you can sit with GP Upadhyayji. Please come over there. And he's at present at 88 Janpat in New Delhi. Anything related to tourism, whatever you have got in this particular region, you can always get in touch with him. Now, let's move on. And I would request Ravi Gosaiji, please come. And ladies and gentlemen, let's take the practical part of everything. What do we have got for our officers, ladies, those are about to retire, those have retired, what kind of reoccupation they can think of and they can move ahead. And Indian Association of Tour Operators, very big organization. Rajiv Mehraji has already joined. We have welcomed him and he is the president. He has also come. What else could have been there? The largest and the biggest organization of tour operators. President is also here. Vice president is also here. And ex-president is also here. Oh my God. Ravi Gosaiji, please come.
I just want to thank Ajit Bajaj because his daughter came in this morning, I think midnight at 4 o'clock or something, and he's hardly slept and he's come all the way from Gurgaon. Thank you very much. वैसे He could do it because he's conquered Mount Everest.
Very good morning to all ladies and gentlemen in this hall. Thank you very much, Dr. Sharma and Mr. Goyal for inviting me to this event. This is very, simple talk I will do on behalf of Indian Association of Tour Operators. I am myself as an entrepreneur. I started the journey 25 years back. So we completed 25 years this year. And I'm in the association for last 13 years. Tourism for me is something which drives from your inner passion. So if you have a passion for travel, if you have a passion to meet people, and if you have a passion to see different cultures, then this is the appropriate field for you. And I must say that IATO, Indian Association of Tour Operators, is a 42 years old organization. We have over 2,000 members all over India, and we are helping tourism industry to grow. We work very closely with the government, central government, the state governments, and also take our members on the international platform to promote tourism to India. For us, I'll just come to straightforward to the context of defense personals, how the retired officers and of course the ladies can contribute to tourism. And the thing is, what I believe and what I think, the three things which is very important, which defense forces teaches us, which is honesty, dedication, and commitment. Secondly, the understanding of different cultures, because customs and traditions, because you serve all over part of India and also go on international UN missions. And last is crisis management. So these three are very important factors when you want to be entrepreneur in tourism. And I think this is the best thing what we can get from the officers. So when I say we can get, is that industry as a whole, tourism industry. So we have several examples in our trade that where we have seen ex-defense officers running the organization. You can take example of Captain Nair from the Leela Hotels. And he has set up such a big brand in India. And there are also a few of our members who are retired Air Force officers or Army officers. So it's a will for travel and passion to understand different cultures and understand the world. And what I believe when it comes that what are the opportunities? So there are lots of opportunities, whether it's a travel agency or tour operation. Whether it's hospitality industry, Mr. Bajaj spoke about adventure tourism. Then there are events industry where you can come. Then there is a skill development also, where you can teach youngsters actually whatever experience you have on discipline, basically, and also the administrative side of yours, and the crisis management, which is very important. Because when we serve people for tourism purpose, they are on their holidays, but we are not. So this is very important, and these are the things which is very important. And I think our industry also require ex-servicemen so that you can also groom our existing staff in a sense. And how the ex-defense personnel can come to tourism. There are lots of courses run by government, by our association for skill development. So if you need any refresher course in tourism, you can of course contact us as well. And this is how you can integrate yourself into tourism. And believe me, there is no age to retire actually. So, do not think that it's an end if you leave the forces. But yes, like Dr. Gulshan Sharma said, that you have to think that what you can do in future. And also, like you always serve the nation and its people, you can also serve the tourism industry by that thought process actually. It's not only financial, but also like your commitment to the country. And I think tourism is something which comes with very less investment. Like Dr. Goyal said, Like with 10,000 rupees, I think he has started the company. So you don't need lots of money. You just need your skills. You just need your connections. You just need your understanding of the subject. And I think in future also, if you need any support from the association, if you want to have any training sort of course or know-how on tourism, we'll be happy to serve you. So I'll just stop my speech here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What I would like to make a request to my president, Subhash Goelji also, and Rajiv Mehraji also. You have got your convention coming up in Bhopal, your annual convention, which is coming up in Bhopal. If we could work out some kind of a strategy that you have got the largest members as far as the travel trade is concerned, why not we should work out a strategy? One ex-serviceman, depending on the demand, depending on the expertise, depending on professional approach and competence, the entire travel trade should think in those lines. Our officers, Jawans and JCOs, depending on the requirement of the company, depending on the requirement of the trade, because I have seen closely tourism, very closely, this particular profession. And GP Upadhyay ji, our chief guest today, coming all the way from Sikkim, he also has taken care of, Sikkim tourism for a long time. He had been with the education also. He had been with a couple of verticals over there. He's going to share the vision later on with all of us. I think tourism, what Ravi Gosai ji made a mention, it is a passion. It is not a profession alone. It's a passion. It comes from within. And tourism cuts across all these sectors of the economy. And while this session is going live on YouTube, I vouch for it. When the Honorable Prime Minister mentioned of 5 trillion economy, we can become even 10 trillion alone with tourism if given the proper push, proper direction and proper coordination and implementation policy. Lot can be done because it is not only inbound tourism, outbound tourism, it is domestic tourism also. With these words, I extend a very hearty welcome to Ajit ji. 5 minutes de dijiye. 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes de dijiye. I know you got up 4 o'clock this morning to see up. Okay. Okay. We request the chief guest, GP Upadhyay ji, two of the gentlemen, and the ladies, they want to leave this morning. So I know you got up at 4 o'clock, Ajit Bajaj ji, but coming from the armed forces, I think the first is to be given to the lady, Subhash Goel ji. Blossom co-chair, ma'am. Blossom co-chair, ma'am. BK, please come here. Just look at the mementos quickly. Please. Blossom co-chair, ma'am, ka nikaliye. Ha, nikaliye. Haji. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together and give a small token of appreciation. The lady who made a wonderful and Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, I think for the armed forces, this is something very nice which can come up and we can think about it where the husband, wife together, or maybe a wife supporting husband post retirement, that part we can take care of. And Padma Shri Ajit Bajaj ji, we request you to kindly accept a small token of appreciation from all of us this morning. Adventure tourism once again goes very well as far as the armed forces are concerned. Your water sports, your winter sports, your aero sports, whatever we can think of, I think the armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, paramilitary, we all cut across this so well. Thank you very much. Thank you. And sir, you were saying something else? Okay, Ravi Gosai ji, please come. And ladies and gentlemen, I asked him this morning, what is the secret of remaining young, looking young, talking young, walking young? He told Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council. I said, okay, that's lovely. So IATO and Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council will also come together now in future. And I think your participation should also be there in IATO when they have their annual convention and all of us coming together. With these words, Shri P.P. Khanna, the president of Association of Domestic Tour Operators, And it's a proud privilege when I share this morning while inviting him. While being with the Ministry of Tourism, I was the chief guest and I inaugurated this association in Taj Palace Hotel way back in the early 90s. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Association has grown so well and they're doing wonderful. And domestic tourism is the base of the pyramid where everything stands. So Shri P.P. Khanna ji, let's take on domestic tourism. Dekho apna desh.
Thank you, Dr. Gulshan ji. Thank you, Subhash Goyal ji, and all the VIP delegates on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really graduate to come on this conference for the strategical channelizing defense officers and ladies in entrepreneurship. That's a really exactly very, very important in today's life, where a lot of people are thinking that what is your vision and what is your passion if you want to come into any enterprising movements or any businesses. As everybody knows that today what the domestic tourism is doing, and this is the basically the main engine for the economy of our country. If you really see that today in the GDP in INR, if I say that it is almost what 14.17 trillion was there, which was contributing the GDP, and we are expecting almost what 21 trillion by 2026. Now coming back to the the main agenda that for the ex-servicemen and for the ladies, the need of an hour to spread actually basically the awareness of the skills which actually the ex-servicemen and the ladies have, and the veterans of our country. They are processing and have done in the forces. It is very, very important to understand which can be leveraged in the corporate market. Today, India is a leader in the corporate market. And like our Honorable Prime Minister, he is visiting different countries to bring the businesses for the country and for the citizens of our country. There is a huge of scope in the tourism and hospitality. Everybody knows about it. And as you are saying that our country, Honorable Prime Minister also says, Dekho apna desh. And tourism is one of the main actually focus. Whenever he talks about and he is the main ambassador for the tourism in our country. Taking into consideration the tourism and the hospitality, still we need a lot of people to work for that country. After the corona, we have seen there's a lot of scarcity of the manpower in our country. Mr. R.K. Suman, Dr. R.K. Suman, he's there from the Ministry of Tourism. He knows that. Still, a lot of people are asking hospitals, hospitality industry, everybody, there is a scarcity of the manpower. And I think this is the right time when the ex-servicemen and the ladies, they should think about that, how they can be, benefit out of that, and what are the opportunities they can avail out of that. Really, if you take it into consideration, there is a lot of scope in the tourism and hospitality. Mr. Ajit Bajaj has already said about that, the adventure tourism, and he has also spoken about the border tourism. You can really avail the border tourism. You are the best person to tell and teach about that because you have experiments about the borders, and you can really teach all the students in the school, the colleges, that how the border tourism can be promoted in our country. Mr. Ajit Bhai has already said about that sustainable and the responsible tourism, and you are the right person to tell because we have seen that ex-servicemen and their ladies are really, they are the disciplined people. We have seen that a lot of times we have seen that people, throw all the plastic bottles on the roads and this thing. You are the right people who can really teach from the root level in the schools, in the colleges, in the institutions that how to stop that. And because you people are really, whenever we talk about the exercise span of the lady and their ladies, automatically it comes to our mind that they are the disciplined people. And this is the discipline exactly you can really tell to the students and the other sector. Talking about that beauty, talking about that adventure, now talking about the wellness and talking about the medical tourism. Wellness, yoga, medical tourism has a big scope in India. Really, it has a big scope. If you really see that last year, Ayurveda, which is coming up very well in India and which is the leader in the world, 2 million visas were granted by the ministry and by the External Affairs Ministry to come to India for the medical tourism, for the wellness. And I think with the beauty, health is also very, very important. So we have to do that beauty and health. If we have that, then you are the God in this world. So beauty, health, wellness, yoga, all these are combined with that. And if you really taken into that we have an app also, which is Heal in India. Heal in India by the Ayush Mantralaya, they have introduced this app, and you can go into that and you can see that how this you can do the wellness in India, and you can do all about it, taking care of your beauty as well as the health. So we are talking about somebody talked about the mice and wedding. Ravi, I think he is gone. Ravi was talking about the mice and the wedding. Mice and wedding is a very large segment in India. Almost in the mice, if you see, globally, we are not comparing to globally because only 1% of the mice things are mice means the meetings, incentives, conferences, and the exhibitions, which are only 1% of the Indian. Globally, we are doing that. But if you really see that the wedding is a very, very big segment, and almost about, if you know, ladies must be knowing that 10 million weddings are happening in India every year, more than that rather. And a lot of junk is going to different countries, our neighboring countries also, like to Sri Lanka, to Thailand, to Turkey, to Egypt. So how to bring it that? If you really, ladies, you come forward, and you are the people, those who can really tell the Indian ladies that how to do the best wedding in India. I think you are the best ladies, and this is a good opportunity for all of you, because India is a big country with a big population, 1.40 billion, if you really see that. And out of that, not even 1% is happening everywhere, the weddings. So I think a wedding is a one segment which actually you can tap, and you can work with the conferences, companies, and the wedding planners also. So this is a one opportunity you can experience, and the experiences you can always share with them, that how the experiences you have in your field, that is more important. Apart from that, there is a lot of other team building programs are there, because those who are into events, we have an event company also, know we are doing a lot of team building programs. So team building programs is one thing which exactly the ex-servicemen, they can only do that. Nobody else can do that. They know how to, do the building program, team building programs in the corporate sector, particularly in the corporate sector, if you really see that. And business development managers can be there, administration, adventures, already Ajit has told. And let me also tell you that the Ministry of Tourism, one of the Praton Sumantha, one of the Praton which was happened during that Rashmi Vermaji's time, there was an app was introduced for the ex-serviceman also. And it was in 2017, if I it was 2017, one app was introduced, and it is on the web portal for the ex-serviceman to find the jobs as per their capability and as per their experiences and as per their education. I think this app is there. So I think all the ladies here, they can go into the MOT. I think Suman Saab can give more light on that. That you can go into the app, and you can find out also that how they can find out the jobs in there. Very important thing is that our association is called as the ADTOI, Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India. And we have a woman empowerment team also, which are working pan-India. We have 13 chapters overall, and we are working everywhere we have LEO. LEO means Lady Entrepreneur Officers. We have reported in all the sectors, the LEOs, the ladies, those who are working for the women empowerment, and they are working very well. And let me tell you that latestly we are doing, I will just read it out, that Editor introduced Women Empowerment CRS activities committee to work for the well-being of the women entrepreneurs and creating lady entrepreneur officers. So ADTI, along with the ITO means Indian Association of Tour Operators, ex-president Dr. Goyal and president is also here. We are doing a seminar conference, Empower Her. We are doing on the 1st of August in Habitat Center, Empower Her, for the ladies to educate about the financial independence and literacy workshop in association with two other sessions like we are doing with the ITO and IEI, which is exhibition, another thing. Primary objective of the workshop is to equip women with the knowledge, skills, and confidence required to manage their finance effectively, make informed financial decisions, and achieve financial independence. Generally, we have seen that when there is a segment of finance come, it always go to the men. And women is given the second priority because they said only men can handle the finance, women cannot handle. वो बहुत सीधी होती है बेचारी, पता नहीं किसको क्या पकड़ा दें, किसको क्या कर देंगे. So in that context, actually, we are giving the education to all these women, and I think on 1st of August, I must invite you, all the ladies, those who are wanted to understand, we'll send you a link for that, and they can be educated about the finances, they can be educated about the administration, they can be educated about how to handle and how to control the finances in the home, in the house, or in the offices. So that's very, very important, which the conference we are going to do that in Habitat Center on 1st of August. It will be 10 a.m. starting from 8 a.m. to 3 o'clock. And I think whosoever wants to join that, the ladies, it is only for the women. And anybody who ladies want to join that, we'll send you the link and you can join that. I think these are the things which I wanted to share exactly what the domestic tourism is doing and for the country and for the countrymen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khanna Sahab. देखो अपना देश, domestic tourism plays very important role for all of us. And I personally feel our brother officers and ladies, those are interested to do something in Delhi area, you should get in touch with Sumanji also at 88 Janpath, that is in Delhi itself on Janpath Road. And you should also get in touch for domestic tourism with PP Khannaji's association, that is Association of Domestic Tour Operators. And we very strongly feel in our association that domestic tourism is the base of the pyramid onto which the structure and the superstructure has to be built. Domestic tourism plays very, very important role, and I think a lot can be done into that. With these words, let me request Dr. A.M. Singh, Principal Chief Conservator of the Forest, and also known as also in charge for the head of the Forest Force. And he was Joint Secretary earlier in the Ministry of Donors. And from there, he moved to Assam and looking after that entire area and how basically he involved defense officers, ladies, and everybody in Kaziranga, in Jorhat, in Navgaon, and other places with regard to wildlife tourism, nature tourism, green tourism, ecotourism, flora and fauna tourism, wildlife tourism. I think that is the way we have got Dr. A.M. Singhji, long association. He's doing wonderful over there. And at present, he is the Director General, Network for Certification and Conservation of Forest. That is sustainability standards which are being done. Environment is everybody's concern, and so is his. And nobody understands environment better than armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, the green uniform. We go in a forest area, we set up the unit, and slowly and gradually that builds up and that comes up so well. After some time, you can see that entire area as a tourist visiting place itself. With these words, Dr. A.M. Singhji.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. First of all, it's a pleasure and honor also to be here with you. I would like to thank President Chamber of Service Industry, Dr. Sharma, and other colleagues for inviting me here. Very frankly, I must confess that I am not as good a speaker as Dr. Sharma because, we have shared a couple of platforms all over India in the last 15, 20 years. And the way he speaks, the way he motivates, it's a different world. I'm still trying to learn from him about the communication skills which he has, because as a bureaucrat and as a technical person in the last 35, 40 years, we are seriously into the technical aspects of the subject, not as a good communicator. But now coming back, and then the task which has been given to me today is how we are going to streamline or channelizing the defense officers or the families, how they can have some sort of entrepreneurship skills related to green economy. And I will start with this, that I think nowadays, within the last 3-4 years, everybody talks about environment. Seeing the catastrophe which we are having in Himachal or in Uttarakhand, in all the places, if you talk about that, everybody is now talking about whether we are credible or not if you talk about in some of the developmental activities. And taking back to that, how far we are going to enlighten the understanding of the environment with forestry, and then giving them some sort of enhancement about livelihood also. That is a basic crux which I was thinking about. I would like to share with all of you and with the defense families, those who are, staying in the remote areas, how best you can talk about. I will start with not with the tourism, which per se, a lot of people are talking about adventure, sustainable, responsible, green or ecotourism. I'm talking about taking the people there for a green path or forest path. I don't know how many of you are knowing about even taking or traveling towards or inside a forest also for an hour or so will give you so much, oxygen and about your will. So in that condition, I was thinking about how best, it's not only the forest per se, which is recorded forest area. If you are having 10 to 50 trees also in your courtyard or in your back, then that can also be converted into those areas into it. Another aspect which I was thinking about, how best you can go for a land restoration or the productivity of your land, because that is also very important. And one of the aspects which is coming very well about is how to give the quality seedlings or seeds to the farmers and to the entrepreneurs. So if you have a small piece of land also, you try to have some sort of skills and expertise into developing into quality planting material also, which can be given. Anybody can have a half hectare or 1 hectare nursery also of all the commercial and good timber species, including horticulture also. That can also be one of the aspects which we can talk about that. Now, a lot of people are talking about how to calculate the carbon sequestration. Everybody talking about, and everybody talks about that, how much sequestration or carbon absorbs by a tree. And if you talk to me about that, about 167 to 200 kgs per year, if you talk about a mature tree which absorbs CO2. So that can be calculated also, and then it can be quantified. So in Northeast, what we are trying to do that, and very recently, I mean, our organization, it's a NGO, it's not for profit organization, which I am handling as Director General. And we are going to the farmers, to community, to the government also, and then trying to give them a pilot area where they can calculate their carbon wealth. Another aspect which we are trying to do that, we have just developed sustainability standards for ecotourism, where we are going to have some sort of, launching, where we would like to invite Ministry of Tourism officials also, where we have already developed certain parameters as per the GSTC norms. And then anybody, if you talk about destination managers, if you talk about any of the sites, Dr. Saab has just mentioned about Kaziranga or any of the national parks. If any family, one family goes there and then stay there for 4 to 5 hours, what sort of carbon footprint, one can have, or one family can have, this we have quantified. So all these aspects are having a lot of opportunities into it. The basic idea is from our side is only, it's not only that what we are trying to give it to the society. The important aspect is this, what we are going to give to the environment also back. So that was our important, and any sort of thing, any sort of help, any sort of consultancy, any sort of expertise is required from my side or from my organization side. I am ready to help you all in the future. Thank you once again for inviting.
Thank you very much, Dr. M. Singh ji. It's always a pleasure to. And environment is everybody's concern. I think in future, our armed forces, our defense people on reoccupation, we can take on a lot of projects related to environment. We can work on to that. Thank you. With these words, I would request Shri Rajiv Mehra ji, the president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. And I just learned from him that their next convention is taking place in Bhopal, and that is at the end of the next month, and that rolls up to 2nd of August. They are having it from 30th of August to 2nd of September, and that's going to take place in Bhopal, the next meeting and the annual convention. So our armed forces, defense people, those are interested to get closer to IATO, Indian Association of Tour Operators, because this being the largest body, Rajiv Maharaji can throw the light how we can work on to, how we can be together, what can be planned, and what can be taken care of. And thereafter, we would request Shri R.K. Sumanji. Please come, Rajiv Maharaji. Please.
Distinguished guests on the dais, Dr. Subhash Goyal, who was instrumental in making me the president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. Whether I deserved it or not, that I don't know. But he was the person who made me take this responsibility. So we are in the job of this, and I'll just give you something what we should do, and then as far as the travel trade is concerned, I will just throw a little more light as to how we can do it. So, good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed ex-servicemen and members of the Indian Ex-Servicemen League. It is an honor to speak to you today about various career opportunities available to you as you transition from your distinguished military career to civilian life. Today, I will share insights on setting up a business working in the corporate sector. It is very necessary for the I'm also a son of a Indian Police Services IPS officer. My father was an IPS officer in Delhi. from the Union Territory cadre. Discipline is there, that is what is wanted. And the forces have discipline is not a problem, and that's in the blood. So those who get retired can set up their own business uh, depending on what they are going to do and what is the program like. I joined the travel trade in 1977 in a company called Cedar World Travel, and I had two ex-servicemen there. One was a gentleman called Captain Chaudhary. He was a short service commission officer, and he was looking after the transport. Now, there's a difference between transport also. Because of discipline, if there are tour operator companies, not transporters, tour operator companies, big, very big tour operators companies have their own transport fleet. To have discipline there to run that fleet, handle the drivers and everyone. That's 6 gentlemen brought discipline totally into the driver community there, the mechanics and everyone. So that is the way it should be handled. And then we we had a person called Major Anil Rama, again a retired gentleman from the army. He was looking after HR. Now that is another field where the ex-officers who have retired can work in case you do not want to start your own business. Apart from that, as my colleague Ravi also said, we in our trade do have, rather from all the 3 services, officers, some of them are above the rank of a wing commander and things like that, who are running successfully their organizations, mostly into inbound tourism. In case you want to work where your wife is also there, you are there also, you can open a company first, start ticketing first of all, then do domestic tours and international tours. It will take some time. And then hit the international market. Because whatever you say, whenever you go abroad, once you set up your company and you are doing business in inbound, when you go and give your visiting card with a title as retired from the any services, the person sitting there feels that he is a very responsible person. If I send my clients through him to tour India, he will be well looked after and they will be disciplined. Whatever he has committed is committed. This is something which I also learned, and because being of the services, as I said, the army personnel will never go back on his word. If he has said something, it is said. Jaan chali jayegi, magar jawan nahi badlegi. And I had an example. I had bought a house from a brigadier sahab long back, and he said, "Son, I'm building my house in Noida. It will take me 6 months. You will allow me to stay here?" I said, "Sir, no problem. It's your house. I'm just buying it for investment. I don't want anything." So he said, no, I'll pay. I said, "I don't want anything." And he continued for 6 months staying. I did not charge him anything. By that time, the value of the property, which I bought for about 80 lakh rupees, reached 130. So everyone was scripting that he's going to give you 16 lakh back. I said, he's a brigadier retired from the Indian Army. He will not do this. He will not even speak on this issue. And believe me or not, this gentleman did not say a word. Or rather, he thanked me 10 times that you allowed me to stay. So that is the way the armed forces are trained and they work. So this is honesty is what is required in our trade. And especially when you are into inbound, people do give weightage. The foreign tour operators do give weightage to this. Similarly, this is on the travel, otherwise on the corporate sector also. The ex-services can go there. airlines today, our domestic airlines are blooming, and those who are pilots can get trained to fly those aircraft. And there are plenty, and the technical staff. So this is can go there also. Hospitality industry, hotels, same thing. HR, chief security officer. I'm talking about high-level hotels and ITC, Taj, that category, not those, because a brigadier or a colonel retiring will not like to go to a Lala's hotel and work there, because he's worked in a place where he had so many people looking after him there. So big hotel chains, whether it's Taj, ITC, or Price, or whatever it is, employment in these kind of things is what is required. Do that. But first of all, please do your homework. Travel trade is also very good. I've been telling people COVID is not going to happen again. I don't think so for the next 100 years. As per statistics, it happens after 100 years. So some people, I've even gone to MIT and ITTMs and given lectures there. The students should come back to the travel, to the hospitality. What has happened is happened. And today, new students are not coming there. That is the reason why we have a lot of vacancies which are lying, because we are unable to get the right person, whether it is the travel trade or in the hotel industry. So both the things, but I think this another year or two, this will be over also now. So basically, set your role that allows you to contribute to your community and support. That is very important. All of you work with discipline, and if there's anything which we can do or help, well, Dr. Suman, the regional director of Northern India Ministry of Tourism, is here. He is also very helpful in the person. On a drop of a hat, if you tell him that we have to organize a training course for some of the retired military officers, whether senior or junior, that's different. He will get it done. He will get the necessary sanction from his bosses, and he's that kind of a person who's been really working hard to promote tourism. I will not name them. There are 2, 3 of them who are so passionate about tourism in the ministry, and that is one of the reasons why the ministry is running today, to be honest with you. So Sohanji, thank you very much. So as you transition from your military career to new ventures in the business world, corporate sector, or service industry, remember that the skills and experience you have gained are invaluable. Embrace the opportunities before you with confidence and determination. The Indian Ex-Servicemen League and various other organizations are here to support you on this journey. Thank you very much for your services, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Together, let us build a prosperous and fulfilling future for all ex-servicemen. Jai Hind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind.
Thank you very much, Rajiv Mehraji, the president of the IATO, Indian Association of Tour Operators. It's a great gesture. We have got 2 more short clips, and thereafter we will go on to our guest of honor and chief guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, because 1 o'clock, I wish to close it. That's the way we have made a commitment. We'll try and go fast on that. I would request Shri R.K. Sumanji to give a little window to 2 ladies. If 1 gentleman, 1 lady, and thereafter we take you. That would be very kind of you. So I would request Gurpreet Sehbal ma'am. She is the international educator and the nail expert from the Sector Skill Council for Beauty and Wellness to share her vision. And we will have short, crisp, and quick, because I requested Blossom ma'am also to stay back, and she is here. And so are some of my other friends. Those have to go. Gurpreet ma'am. And thereafter, 1 more gentleman who has come. Yeah, that is Chirag. Chirag Sethi, Managing Director, Classic Fitness Academy. So two of you together, one after another. We can
Thank you so much, Dr. Gulshan Sharma. Thank you, all the esteemed guests on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in Delhi. We are here for a special reason, and I'm going to be as short as I can, but I have one surprise because you invited me to the armed forces, the defense forces. So I have to tell you that my mother, after partition, coming as a young lady from Rawalpindi to Delhi, and the gentleman who allotted them the bungalow in India Gate told him that Air Force is looking for ladies. And she was commissioned as a young lady, and I am the product of that Air Force and a Kadi Sardarni. So you know the double result. So if for those old timers might remember, I visited P Block many times as a child growing up. The office was near Parliament House, later in Air Headquarters in Delhi, and met many people. For coming into Cariappa Hall, I cannot not mention General Cariappa's daughter-in-law, Asha Cariappa, who was my first boss at TWA, which is Trans World Airlines, the first American airline to come to India along with Pan Am. And that started my tourism journey. I have two sides of the coin. One side, I'm an IT with tourism, worked 20 years in Air Canada in Canada as IT. And the other side is beauty because nails was my hobby. So Asha Cariappa has a big hand in making me enter the workforce. As a young girl, I would have probably never entered coming from my background. But thank you, Asha. And I'm sure she's still around. So I introduced the nail industry to India in 2004. So we're talking 2 decades. 2 decades is nails, and we haven't even seen anything. So I'm quickly going to tell you, because these ladies who are retiring and gentlemen who are retiring, please think of $1 billion industry. You don't need to think small. Beauty is no more a beauty parlor run by a woman to collect cash in the evening, as I used to see when I was growing up in India. I've been away for 36 years now in Canada. So I just quickly want to recap, as Mr. Ajit said, unless you believe in your product, how will you sell it? Right? So the belief comes with numbers in today's day and age, and our numbers are very clear. So as a pioneer, I am an educator, trainer. I test foreign brands before they launch in India. So I wear many hats. It's not about just nails. It's a small part of the body, but a very big revenue. And quickly, I'll give you one example. As Blossom mentioned, that the husband gets involved. If I talk about my friend Veena Kumarwell, when I came to India, she had just started her journey in saloons. Today, her husband runs 700 saloons in South India. So it started with one beauty salon and blossomed to 700. So the opportunity is humongous. Let's not take it as a very small thing, because it is not small. Globally, we are valued at 22 billion, which is 2 lakh crores. I'm talking nails. I'm not talking the industry, beauty industry. The industry has grown 17% in recent years. Asia Pacific region has 25% share of the nail care industry. It's projecting a growth of approximately 50% at the end of the decade. And the estimated revenue in India is 1.1 billion US dollars, which is 10,000 crores. Let me tell you, North America, which is Canada and US alone, our last estimate from 2017, we were at 20,000 crores back then. So you know where nails can take you if we look at it seriously as a business proposition. And I'm very happy to announce that India's first Association of Nail Care Professionals of India, ANPI, has just been launched. It's a not-for-profit. So we are here to get all the stakeholders together. People who want to get into the industry don't know how. We guide you, we handhold you, we do everything for you. And why is nails also recession-proof? For those of you who don't know, in America, I've gone through many recessions. As you know, every 12-year cycle, approximately, we go through recessions. And coffee and nails never has recession. Everybody, job or jobless, has to drink coffee in the morning. And every woman who's out there, if she's in the corporate, she needs to be groomed. Now, you know the secret? We are in the grooming industry, which is mandatory. Beauty may be optional, makeup may be optional, but nails is mandatory, just like manicure, pedicure, nails. Have a shower, wear fresh clothes, use a deodorant, hands and toes are ready. So corporate women need nails, housewives, they need their me time, they're fed up of looking after the children, go to the nail bar, get their nails. It's very therapeutic. If somebody holds your hand, you'll fall asleep in 2 minutes. Try it. Come over. The gentlemen too, not just the ladies. So everybody knows this is a recession-proof industry. And today we are here with these opportunities. I'll quickly tell you what are the opportunities if somebody gets into nails. Obviously, a lady can be an entrepreneur. She can start a nail academy at home. And if she invests a lakh or two, in 2 months, she recovers her money. That is how profitable it is. So we can do nail technician, salon educator, academy educator, distribution, manufacturer educator, beauty school educator, salon management, medical nail expert, film and editorial nail technician, which we're getting a lot of demand these days, platform show artists, we are getting demand, celebrity nail techs. As you know, Kareena Kapoor's nail tech travels with her, and so does Kim Kardashian's. So this is the cruise ships again, international placements, image consultants, and there are many more. Then you can be a global trainer. Like there is endless. The ladder is up, up, and up. What can the nail industry offer you? A small startup, a nail bar at home, or a nail academy at home? Low startup, high revenues. I'm happy to know that the financial people are here. Thank you, Dr. Gulshan, for inviting them, because they are the ones who can start you up without you investing a penny into it. Last but not least, I'm blessed to be in India to witness the transformation of village lives to financial independence. I have trained about 14,000 children, most of them from the villages. 70% have been placed. Our mantra is to go from classroom to job so that there is no skill gap. This is what we offer you at the association. And at heart, obviously, always an Indian. I would love to be part of another transformation. If any of the people, whether they are retired or the daughters, we have done a CBSE project with the government of Haryana for the school dropouts. And not everybody is, wanting to do academia and go abroad and be a finance expert. So there are children who are going to vocational. But you know why they like nails? Because my suppliers in North America are driving Bentleys and Rolls Royce. So it's not like you're going to go into, nails. No, that's not it. Come and sit with us. We give you all the inside information. And thank you, Dr. Gulshan. You told me short and crisp. So my mother taught me something. Anybody here who has any doubts, Blossom said, risk, absolutely. And Nishchay kar jeet karo. Jai Hind.
During lunch, everybody can have a discussion, with Rosa ma'am also, with you also. We can come to know more about wellness sectors, people who are interested.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Gulshan sir, for inviting us. I'm here to talk about the career for ex-servicemen in the fitness industry. In the next 10 years, 50% of our world population would be obese. So we are in a demand for fitness professional who will be a better person than disciplined people like you. We need that discipline in the industry. We have job openings. We have people who want to work in the gym. We have openings for yoga instructors, dietitians. So you have served your country. Now it's the time to again serve your country, be in the fitness industry, because this is the only way we can actually reduce the medical budget of our country. Because the way we are getting obese, 80 million people in India are diabetic or pre-diabetic. But if we start exercising, we start making people exercise, you can actually reduce the medical bill for these people. And in India, the industry is growing. The fitness industry is growing at an exponential pace. We need yoga instructors. Yoga has been to the world now. We have the World Yoga Day. We need yoga instructors. We need personal trainers. We need dietitians. And the ex-servicemen, the wives, they are the best people because the discipline that you people carry is amazing. So if that comes to our industry, definitely we will have more and more people who will be working on their health, who will be working on fitness. Today, it's a very small population who exercise. But once the motivation comes from you people, I'm sure there will be a lot of people who will come and exercise. My organization have trained over 30,000 people till date and will be more than happy to add thousands of more from the ex-serviceman industry that will help us to grow. And this will also be a motivation for all the young students to come and work in the fitness industry. My bit is very short and quick. Thank you so much, Wilson sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ravi, that's really quick here. That's lovely. What an economy of time.
Thank you. Fitness and armed forces. That's great. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we would request the guest of honor, Shri R.K. Sumanji, the Regional Director, Tourism, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Kindly let's hear him. He can share the vision, what exactly for the reoccupation. And nobody would understand it better than him because he himself comes from the uniform. So that's something is really lovely. Put your hands together. And with these words, Shri R.K. Suman. Aye, please come.
Good afternoon, dignitaries on the dais, Sri Upadhyaya, staff, generals, and esteemed officers of military persons, retired, and all the esteemed delegates who are present here. First of all, I'd like to express my special gratitude to Dr. Subhas Goel, who invited me on this forum. Although I was not that much free because yesterday night, 12 o'clock, I landed from Srinagar. We had many events there. So it was a very difficult, but still, because I had promised him, and as a matter of fact, I cannot deny him. Because he is the stalwart of the industry. And of course, we have Rajiv Goel, Khanna Saab, and you heard Mr. Bajaj. So we have esteemed all the stalwart present here of the industry. But I have actually few points that I think may be helpful to all the officers present here. Little brief I will give about how the tourism industry can be helpful for the ex-serviceman. You might be aware that the tourism industry contributes around 9% of the GDP directly or indirectly. So you can think what is the 9% and how it contributes. It is not everything directly, but lot of things involved. When a tourist arrives or a tourist visits a place, he provides employment to around 10 or 11 people. And I will tell you, one of 11 employment is generated through tourism sector currently worldwide. I am telling you, not only in India, because tourism is a manpower driven industry. Here we cannot do everything through technology. We cannot put the machines on work. Here the feel of the person, the experience of the person is required. And that is how it is one of the major employment generated industry. So for defense persons, there are numerous opportunities, but still limited. So I will just share few things like central government. There are few opportunity, limited, at assistant director level, what I joined through UPSC. This is one of the channel, but it is not always. It comes sometimes in 5 years, sometimes in 10 years, and very limited vacancies, 10, 12, 13, like that. But still, in state governments, there are vacancies in tourism sectors. In central level, like we take a principle of our institutes, sometimes Indian Institute of Skiing and Mountaineering. It is always headed by a defense personnel. Maybe from on deputation and then he takes the retirement, like Colonel Dhillon was there, and now Colonel Thapa is heading that institute. That is our institute. But of course, that is only one institute that we have. Even defense officers are eligible to apply for principles of IHM, Institute of Hotel Management, because being in pay 13, you are directly eligible to apply for that post. Of course, but you have to compete to the others who are already professional or whatever. And even in IITTM, if you have the qualification, you can become assistant professor or whatever level you achieve. Similarly, in the state, lot of opportunities are available at gazetted level, at non-gazetted level, and states have their corporations also. And there they take a lot of ex-servicemen. Third comes the PSUs. So we have huge PSUs, including this state and central government. One is ITDC, that is the major PSU of Ministry of Tourism. So there are not only opportunity related to hotel sector, they are in travel sector. Ashok Tours and Travel is our travel company. Then we have ITDC also have many branches. It's not only the hotel sector. They have many other branches, HR, finance, and many others where the ex-serviceman can be eligible and apply. And of course, the large opportunity is open in private sector, because I will never hesitate to say that tourism is driven by private sector. Government is only the facilitator. The tourism sector is driven by private sector, and of course, private sector do not need much qualification. It needs your passion. So in tourism sector, there are two sectors. One is tourism, another is hospitality. So tourism is means different type of travel agents, tour operators, that includes inbound tour operator, those who are catering the foreign tour operator, and the domestic tour operator, what Mr. Khanna is heading the association. Then there are tourist transport operator. Those who have the fleet of transports and the cater to the tourist through the travel agents or directly. Then there are adventure tour operators, what Mr. Bajaj has mentioned. He has given the elaborate discussion about adventure tour operator. And there are many other services, even like helicopter services that can be done, and many other avenues related to tourism that is open to everybody. And there, I think the ex-serviceman person can very easily fit into. Now come to hospitality sector. Now there are hotels. So hotel doesn't mean that you should have a 3-year degree in hotel management. That is only the core business they do. But there are opportunity in hotels like ex-servicemen. I find the ex-servicemen actually, when I go for the inspections for hotels, I find the colonel is sitting as security manager. Then I find HR manager as the lieutenant colonel or wing commander or whatever. I have seen and I have met them, and I feel very happy to discuss with them. There are other like even finance, license manager, and it can be fire and safety manager. So there are many other avenues which other than core business of hotel management, that is food and beverage and whatever, even front office can be run by ex-serviceman people. Now I will come to, I mentioned the points like tour operator, travel agents, transport tour operator, adventure tour operators. These tour operators, you can start a company and you can get approval from Ministry of Tourism. So these are the category under which we give the approval, and that provides you the, in fact, the license to operate. Similarly, in the hotel sector, we give the approval for all the class of all the star category. Only central government is giving the star category of the hotels that starts from 1 to 5 and 5-star deluxe. And for northern region, I am the chairman of the committee who gives the approval. Even the guest houses, and there are many other opportunities that can be generated through self-employment, like homestays. Now this is coming in a big way. Homestay is a very small entrepreneur unit, but it is having a big impact in the tourism sector, and the revenue generated through bed and breakfast and homestay is a huge. I will tell you, if somebody is having a 5-room, 6-room, 8-room house, you are using only 2 rooms. The other 4-room, 5-room are vacant. You can register it as a homestay or bed and breakfast. If you are staying there, it will be a homestay. If you are not staying there, you can run through your representative and that will be considered as bed and breakfast. We provide license for this also. You have to apply online, and this will be a one of your accommodation unit. And you will not believe, many times these homestays are charging more than the hotel because they provide the service, and they are mostly full. And especially in the central and southex area and this area, I know the homestays. I have given the licenses, and when I call for the room, they say we are full. So actually, these are the sectors that is not open and not known, not publicized, but they are having a very big entrepreneurship opportunity. Now, there are opportunity to become tourist guide, especially the language guide. Certainly, you need to gain the skill of language and other things to become a guide. For that also, we provide the license. Now, this guide course is totally online. You need not to visit any place. Register on IITFC website and start the course online. Within 3 months, you will complete the course online. I think fees is hardly 3,000. After completion of the course, there will be one physical exam. And after that, we will issue the license. License is issued by my office. And then you can get the skill by learning the language, because learning a language, you can join any institutes, you can do online. But the major thing is that you should have the practical knowledge to do your profession. Certainly, in adventure activities, this is the one of the best activities where I find that ex-servicemen are doing excellent. And you can be a adventure tour operator, you can work in the adventure sector, you can provide the equipment for adventure things. So there are many things involved in that, like skiing, paragliding, water rafting, water skiing, and many other things. Even our institute, that is in Gulmarg IISM, Indian Institute of Skiing and Mountaineering, that provides many training, even like water skiing. I study at Dal Lake. I myself done this water skiing, and they are currently running a course. Short courses of 15 days with nominal price. You can't believe, with 7,000 rupees stay and training, with food and everything. So of course, government is providing these opportunities, like skiing also, 15 days training. I think it is 10,000 is the charge. And of course, beside our institute, there is the Army Institute beside that, and that also they also provide training. So that training is also valid to become an instructor. But of course, there are 2-3 levels to become an instructor in skiing and adventure things. We have in Goa water sports training institute. That is Ministry of Tourism Institute. And these institutes provide training for water sports. And they from there you can learn the skill, you can become entrepreneur in this sector, or you can start working in this sector. One another sector that is very much capable to generate employment and business is restaurants. Lot of restaurants are running. There are lot of restaurant chains are running, and I think if anybody has the passion, I think he can run a restaurant very well. And of course, investment and all anything that is required. As Mr. Khanna mentioned, the MICE, like events, managing the events, I think the defense personnel are one of the best in managing the events. And that has been proved in G20. All the logistic arrangement was done by forces. They came into the position for 2 years and they were doing all the logistic. We were just the guiding forces, but all the logistic was done by the uniform personnel. Of course, they were civil. There are new opportunities coming up like wedding tourism. You can become a wedding planner. And this is a big market. I mean, can you wedding planning is becoming a big market. This is a very big market. And of course, you have to tie up the things, but opportunities are enormous. There are many other opportunities like in golf tourism. It is one of the big avenue of niche tourism, eco-tourism. Then border tourism, very limited, but it is coming up because government is focusing on that. Then it is educational tourism. Now we have established Yuva tourism clubs in all the schools of CBSE and even the state government. And through that, we are having the tour of children throughout, of course, maybe India or within the state or whatever. Sometimes we sponsor it, sometimes school sponsor it, but this avenue is open for educational tours also, medical tourism, and there are many other things that is open to excellence. Opportunities are numerous, but the fact is these opportunities are not publicized first. It is not open for everybody to look into because those who have the passion, those persons only enter into these sectors. Because you will find that if you ask your children what you want to become, then you will certainly say nowadays the best is the software engineer because he is paid very well sitting at home, sleeping in the house and working in the laptop, very easily get 10,000. So nobody bothers you about the subs, bothers to go for the other thing. But I will tell you, one IHM graduate is getting 3 or 4 or 5 job offers many graduates from IHM. But hardly people opt for these IHM courses. That is the reality. When you become the engineer, you have to fight for jobs many places, and of course, if you are lucky, except software engineer, very difficult to find job. But in IHM, each child is getting 3 or 4 offers, and not only for the hotels, because now this many other industry like aviation, even the real estate and others, because after getting this 3 years training, they become very much professional to handle anything. And that is how the things goes. There are many other things that can be related and can be connected with this. But one thing I must say that if you choose any sector, I think you have to have some professional qualification. And that is very easy to get. That is not necessary that you should come out from the process and doing within remaining in the process, doing master in tourism, which is very easy. IGNOU is doing, there are many other universities are giving this degree online or even through distance courses. And even I did my PhD in service and I did not take even 1 day leave. All the things, whatever I managed and I did, and of course from a government university. So that passion is required. And when you have the passion, I think anything can be achieved. Lastly, I would like to say that I am the regional director for the northern region. So whatever things I have mentioned, like approval of tour operator, approval of hotels, approval of B&B and homestay and guide, these all things in the northern region that start from Jammu Kashmir to UP is with me. And if anybody is interested to know more about this or to establish any business related to this, can contact me anytime in my office. Of course, need to take the availability because I have to move around the northern region. I will just give out of the box. I will give you simple ideas how if you want to come in the tourism sector. If you have little money also, it can. Like if you have a fleet of, suppose we need 10 buses, we need Innova cars, we need small cars. So if you generate a fleet of bus, you can be very easily become a tourist transport operator, and the stalwarts of the industries are sitting there. Certainly, they are going to support the ex-servicemen. They will be catering the first they will take the services from the organizations. Certainly, like helicopter services. Now, whatever the helicopters are running in Uttarakhand and even in Jammu and even now Amarnath Yatra and Giri, helicopters are leased. It is not owned by somebody. You can have leased one helicopter, two helicopter, four capacity, and you can start the business. Sometimes you will have 4 times, sometimes it may be minus also because if the weather doesn't permit, something you will lose the business. So, of course, risk is there, but most of the time, it is a very good profitable business. Becoming a tour operator, it's not a big thing, actually, I will tell you, because what I felt that when a ex-serviceman thinks about visiting some places, he will try looking for some military guest house or something like that, or some friends or relative or somehow. Actually, as on date, every one of the hotel accommodations are available at the rate you want. It may be get at 500. In Delhi also you can get a room of only 500, and you can get a room of 50,000. So what is your requirement? Of course, you have to plan in advance. So what I can say is that if defense people can start the work for their own people, if each unit is having one travel unit to cater the people, then I think that is going to be a big business for the defense person. Because a person serving there is not having that much knowledge about tourism and tourist places. Just he thinks that I need to visit there. How to do, what to do, and what are the things, what are the facilities available? I think that can be done very well within. And those who are interested, I think it is a huge opportunity. I think becoming a tourist professional is easy, but of course, it is, you can say, not that easy also, because here you have to leave your pride, your ego, everything you have to leave, your timing. But I will tell you, a person works 18 hours, but he never feels tired. The reason the job he is doing, he feels that it is not at all a job. You are meeting people, moving around the people, sitting around the places. Facing new places, it's not a job, actually it's an enjoyment. So when a person works 18 hours also, it doesn't, I will tell you, being a government officer, I work sometimes at 18 hours. And I feel pride to do that because I do not feel that this is a job. I feel that I'm enjoying this. And really it is enjoyment. Everybody knows that these are things. So of course it is a matter of inculcating how you take the things and how you observe it. So with that words, I leave it. I think if I am able to do entrepreneurship or anything for what is one person, I think my speech would be
Thank you very much, Dr. R.K. Sumanji. That was wonderful, coming from a soldier to the tourism. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have to quickly move on to And I would request Brigadier Inder Mohan Singh ji, the President of Indian Ex-Services League, and thereafter that would be followed by our Army Welfare, the personal organization which we have got. We will have General Chauhan sir. So with these words, I extend a warm welcome to both of them. Brigadier Inder Mohan Singh ji.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thankful to Peter Pulshan. I still call him Major Pulshan. People call him Doctor. Very difficult for us to change our terminology. No problem. Once a Fauji, always a Fauji. But ठीक है, अपना success story there. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. May we now request Major Ajay Singh Chauhan ji, Managing Director, Army Welfare Placement Organization, to share a few words. And thereafter, we will have the memento session. And then finally, Chief Guest views.
Standing between lunch and people.
No, just 5 minutes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Goyal, Dr. Sharma, President of the Ex-Servicemen League, ladies and gentlemen. Very difficult to keep the attention span towards the side at this hour when the lunch is already waiting. Okay. A wonderful experience, learning experience been for me. Somebody's into nails, somebody into beauty, and of course, adventure tourism. Whenever you wear a uniform, the first thing which comes into somebody else's mind who's not wearing it is security ke liye theek hoga. I stand here today to tell you, you got to look beyond security. All right. The security, in any case, anyone is wearing a uniform, a Brigadier IM is talking, of course, he's not aware, or rather, he will bear with me that you have to go beyond this. An army personnel is a comprehensive package. Sir, please listen to me. Brigadier IM, sir, I'll request you to please listen. An army personnel is a comprehensive package. When a husband is at home, ladies will bear with me, everything he's doing at home, whenever he's on leave. Nail bhi laga do, sabji bhi le aao, flana bhi kar do, plumber bhi bula lo. Anything you take it on a chutti or a Sunday or a Saturday, he's been doing it. And Brigadier IM just spoke about the presence of this ex-serviceman. I'll talk of the strength first. What are the strengths of ex-servicemen? What you have? I am not at all going into the strengths of, his discipline, his teamwork, his stability, his dedication, his integrity, his morale. I'll speak about the strength what he has. Firstly, ex-serviceman presence. Brigadier IM just spoke. Presence pan-India. Second, he's got his age to his side. You'll be surprised to know, ladies and gentlemen. He retires at the age of 35. Nowhere in the government today, people retire at the age of 65, 35. It is already in the armed forces where people start retiring from the age of 35 to the age of 60. Only one person retires at the age of 62, and he's the chief of the army staff of the Air Force of the Navy. Right? So you have to consider this. He very rightly, somebody brought out, he's at the peak of his responsibilities when he's retiring. And then he's got his children studying. He's got his parents at home. He's got to construct a house. He's got aspirations to fulfill. So therefore, he has to work. And as I brought out right in the beginning, he's a package. Please utilize him that way. Today, let's not only consider ourselves or confine ourselves to security. He's a beautiful representative for a multiple role in the industry. Okay, we are talking of And the second is the experience, the wonderful communication skills he's got. And he's got, he, like the army advertisement, which used to be, you have it in you. Yes, he has it in. So therefore, you've got to look at that aspect. People talk about the experience in the army, adventure, event management, crisis management. All right, fighting, of course, it is inherent. So these are the experience which we carry with ourselves. Communication, how to connect with two kind of organizations. Liaison, Brigadier IM just got it. He just spoke about it. The liaison capabilities, awareness. He reads 4 newspapers. I was director media in the army. I used to read 10 newspapers in the morning before reaching my office at 8:15. Right, that was the responsibility, and that is the experience I carry. I'll talk about myself. I have had an experience of right from Indra Call to Indra Point. Indra Call is in the Siachen Glacier. We just heard a talk on the adventure tourism. He was showing rescue. I myself saved my boy, and I was awarded for it in the toughest and what time frame and what date? It was in 1987, and things were not as developed as it is today. So we have it in us, and therefore, ladies and gentlemen, look for this. Now, what is my organization? AWPO is an organization which is mandated to place or provide second career opportunities for our ex-servicemen. And this is a part of the army. While it is a kind of under society, under the Societies Act. However, I have a database, right from lieutenant generals to a Sipahi, they are all with me. I have a database of almost 5 lakh ex-servicemen. All these ladies and gentlemen you have spoken about here, my ex-servicemen fit in there, let me tell you. And therefore the responsibility to provide them. I'm very happy to listen to Dr. Suman, and I will definitely come and interact with him, because these are the opportunities where people will be suited. I'll give you 2-3 examples. Tatas came to us. He talked about the earlier time dark bungalows used to be there. So Tatas are making this kind of independent houses for tourism. In Nilgiris they went. They took people from us. So today, wherever these kind of opportunity, we have got chefs trained in the Institute of Management Catering Technology in the army itself. I have a chef who's been with the chief of army staff for 25 years. He's been in that particular place. And let me tell you, he is a master just because he doesn't have a certification which you require. Poor guy, he's not getting a proper job. You understand? So I think we have to go beyond this kind of a certification part where he talked about, Dr. Suman just spoke, you have to have a professional qualification. 30 years experience in a hospital, in a radiology section. He did not do any course outside. And this guy is looking for a job. Hospitals do not pay him that much. They require a tappa ki bhai isko certification chahiye. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the strength I'm talking of. Trades I've talked. Guest houses he's spoken about. Chefs, stewards, security, overall management. We have beautiful. Why do you think everyone is envious of these armed forces areas? I'm very proud of that. Let me tell you, you drive through Delhi can, 2 degrees temperature down. You're breathing pure oxygen. And why? It is not because it is Thanadari. It is because from a 3-star general to a Sipahi walks there in the morning at 6 o'clock and ensure that these things are maintained. And that is why you are proud of. And let me tell you one more thing. Today, there is a competition in Delhi where the green areas, people, it is awarded, and Delhi Cant, Air Force Cants are the first and second which comes. And this is by tradition. People from outside look inside the cantonments and are able to say this. And I take pride in saying why it is so beautiful. It is my property. It is my property, and it is I have to look after all over India. Thank you very much for supporting me. So this is the strength. And this is and you know, these are the people who are doing, and no one from outside come. Let me tell you this. कोई बाहर से नहीं आता, हम खुद करते हैं अपने से. And और सुबह 6 बजे if I'm walking as a GOC, if I see a light or a water tank, immediately from there I give a call. And let me see at 8 o'clock, it is not stopped. So these are the things which they bring to the table. Entrepreneurs, we heard Dr. Blossom Kocha, Mr. Colonel Gopinath. He owned whole lot of them. He talked about the Leela Kempesky, Captain Nair. So entrepreneurs, as far as the army is concerned, or the armed forces are concerned, and Major Rahman is from my regiment. I come from our regiment. Major Rahman is a stalwart in the ITC groups.
Army officers, HR heads in the hospitality in India.
Lovely.
So the challenges which my ex-servicemen face. First, risk-taking ability. He gets whatever money he's getting post-retirement. He's got the liability to his side. And that is why he's very, very careful. He's not prepared to take risk. And imagine at what point in time. Second, he doesn't plan. Because his focus is fighting. When in uniform, he's only focused toward that. He has never thought of his own, selfless, absolutely. Never thought of himself. Chetwood motto, if you go onto the net, I'll not wait for a time. Please see what is Chetwood motto. And then you will realize. Third, you know, he has to unlearn. I also feel that. He has to unlearn to learn certain things. And therefore, one more thing outside what I have seen is the glamour part. He may not be polished, ladies and gentlemen, but he will give you results, let me tell you. So please look for such guys. And I'm also saying that not everyone is not equal. Please carry out a selection. I will give my support. And AWP has got 18 locations pan-India covering length and breadth of this country. I've got regional offices everywhere. Any state you name, I'm prepared to give you man. Right from captains to majors to lieutenant colonels, brigadiers, major generals, at every level of leadership. Retirement for us doesn't mean it's not a jolly good fellow. He was a jolly good fellow. No, it is work here in the army is done. Hereafter, you have to follow a passion. Very rightly, Dr. Blossom brought out, you have got to follow your passion. And when you are following your passion, 18 घंटे काम करने के बाद, he mentioned, Dr. Suman, that you are still fresh. So therefore, passion is a very important, and our boys are prepared to do. I recently had a AWPS summit. Brigadier IM also attended. And we had a group of corporate and host of, veterans who have done well in the industry. And very beautiful lessons I learned. Whenever we meet, we'll tell you. So I'll not waste time much here because I thought I highlight these issues. So way ahead, we need to carry out a hand-holding for my experts. Very important, a little bit. Risk-taking opportunities they got to develop. Financial management, I'll request someday if what are the schemes available for our ex-servicemen with respect to financial management and the investment. There need to be a synergy between all these adventure organizations we talked about, travel agents, travel to tourism, and the ex-serviceman organization. There need to be a synergy so that there is a constant flow of trained resource, and therefore it will be a win-win situation for both of us. There is a need to create a happy balance as well, the opportunities and the strengths. I don't have to fit in your shoes. Look for people who fit into your shoes, then pick them up. And I can say with a lot of conviction that we have that kind of an ability and manpower which we can give it to you. The cost factor of training here, I'll give you one example. That is, drone technology is coming up in a big way. Everyone is talking about the drone technology and drone piloting. You see, the cost is a normal train of a 5 days training is costing 35,000. Next is, if you want to become a trainer, another 70,000. A guy who's just retired has got 15 to 20 lakhs of money. He's going to pay for his just training for 10 days for a period of amount of almost 1.2.5 lakhs. I think that's a mistake. So therefore, we have to look into the aspect of reducing the cost of training whenever we train the experts. One more model I want to highlight here. Let us all try and train a manpower, the individuals, a kind of a scheme, train them, make them industry ready and absorb them. We will provide opportunity for you where these people can be trained while in service. Last 6 months, if they have while in service, please pick these people, train them, and yes, carry out a test subsequently or examination, and then if. So that will give a constant flow into the industry. Creating awareness. I'm very happy here. My compliments to the Ex-Servicemen League and Dr. Sharma for giving this platform and bringing both of us together in creating this kind of an awareness. Let us make a small videos or through exploring this social media and go ahead and create awareness for my experts. It will very good. I find people who've come almost from 60 kilometers. One of my, I stay in Greater Noida, AWHO Gurjendra Vihar. The people have come from there as well. Hand-holding aspect I have talked about. So, right, gentlemen, so because of the paucity of time, I thought I must highlight this aspect. Thank you very much to Dr. Sharma and Brigadier IMC for giving this opportunity. It was a pleasure listening to you, and I have also learned here, today a lot of things from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, General Ajay Singh Chauhanji, Managing Director, Army Welfare Placement Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, before organizing this particular event, we had 3 meetings, and contact lead was given to me by Brigadier Sir, and I went all the way to him, discussed with him, we planned it, and in future, a lot of things we can take it together. General Chauhan Sir, a minute I will take from you so that you will get the lead and we can move together, all of us. During deputation, the agenda which I had taken at that point of time, when I am in uniform and I am on deputation, what could be done for armed forces? And we set up with the help of AG, the Hotel Management and Culinary Institute for Indian Army in Bangalore, where today the Army, Navy and Air Force children are studying. That was one initiative. Secondly, we will get across to Dr. Blossom Kocher, ma'am. She being the chairperson at the helm of the affairs, and I personally feel our families, because of our lifestyle, the way we live in the armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, wellness and the beauty part and all that, our beauty pageant, our children getting into a lot of declamation, debate, stage management, anchors. And when somebody talked about mice industry also, I think it was Rajiv Maharaji or Khanna Sahab or somebody made a mention. When you talk about mice industry, nobody could be a better person, because meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibition is happening in armed forces every day. Events are taking place. Aaj bada khana, aaj koi badi party, aaj koi get together. Something is happening over there. I think that's the another segment which can be taken very well. And Dr. Suman made a mention, and I'm very happy that G20 summit, the logistics and everything being provided by armed forces in the best possible way. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, Jim Chauhan, what he made a mention, the first time people were very annoyed with me when they met me in the DGR, because I told them here onward today, take a pledge, no defense officer to become a security officer. No. It is my Jawans and JCOs, let them take that. And officers are strategists. They got to move ahead in the ladder. That part is important. Now, social media you were talking about, every day 9 p.m. in the evening, every day 9 p.m. in the evening, there is a GS Motivator channel. You can see the logo there now, Defense Welfare Call. I'm not getting salary or anything or any kind of incentive from anywhere. Me and Dr. Subhash Goel, we have taken a pledge. Whatsoever life is left over, we are going to dedicate for the reoccupation and the welfare of the armed forces best possible way. And we made a mention, sir, no defense officer to start business immediately on retirement. Work with somebody for 2 to 3 years, thereafter think of starting something. Don't ever start. Secondly, pension benefits also the outcome of this conference, this event. We discussed never ever use that money for your own resettlement, your own reoccupation. That belongs to your family and your children. If you have got acumen, if you've got something you want to do, work with somebody, earn, and thereafter move up in the ladder. Finally, in the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, the hotel management, what Dr. Suman was talking about, 1988, it used to be diploma. The career was blocked. Children were not moving up. And the third day of my stay in the Transport Bhavan in the Ministry of Tourism, I went across to the IGNU, met the Vice Chancellor, and he told, Major Sahab, आपको क्या लेना है? तो आप तो डेपुटेशन पर थोड़ी देर के लिए. मैंने कहा सर जितनी देर के लिए हो कुछ तो बदलाव लाना है. And one additional paper we got from IGNU and the Hotel Management Diploma of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India got converted into degree. Anything is possible, sir. आप अपने AWPO में से ही हम इकट्ठे काम करेंगे. We will have our own certification. Why do we go for certification to other organizations? It's not needed. We can do that. We'll move in that particular direction. The time has come. The time has arrived. Now for mementos. Okay, let's move on to BK. Let's get ready. And with these words, we would like to recognize, we would like to appreciate your presence and people coming over here. Dr. A.M. Singh ji, please come. We'll go ahead, sir. सर पहले कोई बात मोमेंटो पहले दे देते हैं. मेरी उनसे रिक्वेस्ट हो गई थी तो उन्होंने कहा कि हम दे देते हैं. हाँ जी सर चलते जाओ फटाफट सीक्वेंस में. डॉक्टर A.M. सिंह जी प्लीज कम. थैंक यू वेरी मच. भाई देखिए थोड़ी एनर्जी तो आनी चाहिए ना. हम लोग प्लानिंग तो करना ही पड़ेगा. तो देना है सबको. श्री राजीव मेहरा, द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द IATO, विद अ कमिटमेंट एंड अ प्लेज. मैं आज ये इस हॉल के अंदर फौजियों के साथ मिलकर ये कहता हूं कि जो भी फौजी कहीं ना कहीं ट्रैवल ट्रेड में आना चाहते हैं हम उनको बेस्ट पॉसिबल वे में हेल्प करना चाहेंगे. एंड दैट इज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ IATO, इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ टूर ऑपरेटर्स. Domestic tourism is also playing very important role. Shri P.P. Khanna, the president of Domestic Tour Operators Association. Wonderful. We have got Gurpreet Sehbal ma'am. Please come and thank you very much for joining us. She was the first to come this morning, coming all the way from Gurugram. The vehicle reached 1 hour early. She was here at 9 a.m. and she told me, ki, look, and ma'am, that's why we are giving you 2 mementos you take for Chirag Sethi also. The humor component has to be brought in everything. Ministry of Tourism, Government of India plays very important role, and I'm very happy that my armed forces, the defense person, Dr. R.K. Suman, he's here. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. और अच्छे काम करते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए, फौजियों को भी लेते चलिए साथ साथ, सबको साथ लेकर चलना है. नेक्स्ट, डॉक्टर आशिमा बेगम मैम, डॉक्टर आशिमा बेगम, सुधीर जी, डॉक्टर आशिमा बेगम मैम. ओके, रख लो बेटा साइड में. नेक्स्ट लो, फटाफट जल्दी. नेक्स्ट, रागिनी गोयल मैम, कमिंग ऑल द वे फ्रॉम सिलीगुड़ी. थोड़ा सा और आगे चलिए, और अगली बार आपको गैंगटॉक भी जाना है. आइए. हाँ, इनको गैंगटॉक भी जाना है बाद में. हाँ, आशिमा मैम, hearty welcome. She's coming all the way from Meghalaya, and she is the head of the international relations with our university over there for technical part, Meghalaya. Thank you very much for joining us. Ragini Goyal ma'am from Siliguri, brand strategist. So how to improve the brand for any organization, that part is very important, which has to be taken into considerations. Shri Ashok Gupta ji, keep giving us a wonderful coverage on Doordarshan. Whatever best can be done. He is once again a legend who is doing a great work. And ये एक नई सीरीज के साथ भी आ रहे हैं टूरिज्म की. We are really very, very happy that he joined us today. Colonel Sudhir Garg ji, you are going to Northeast. You are working for a couple of projects over there. He comes from the armed forces. He's from the armored regiment. And I'm grateful to Brigadier Indra Mohan sir to introduce me to him. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, sir. And particularly for the specially abled children, disabled children, they are doing a lot of work for the war veterans also. Yes. I also want to share, sir. Okay, Shri Priyank Sharma, and that is for the financial strategist, basically for your loans getting cleared for the MSME, micro, small, medium enterprise, after that acquiring the skills. If you get into the work, and he has got a complete network with the bankers. That's what we have got, and we work on to that. Along with him, Sahil Singh, we request him to come and be with us over here. Sahil Singh. Yes. Madam Kamaljeet Kaur Ghai, she is from the Air Force background, and coming from the Air Force background, we extend her a very warm welcome. It's a pleasure. At present, she is the Director of Sales on Infrastructure Development. And now I would request Subhash Verma ji, aage aiye. You are the spiritual leader. Please come. We would next facilitate Major General Ajay ji, our Ajay Singh Chauhan, the Managing Director, Army Welfare Placement Organization. हाँ, चौहान साहब को देना है जी. सुभाष वर्मा जी को तो ऑनर करवाना, इनको मिलके साथ ऑनर करवाना है, इनको साथ लेना है क्योंकि हमारी इंडस्ट्री के हैं. Brigadier Indra Mohan Singh, the President of Indian Ex-Services League, over here giving us all kind of valuable support for having this program coming up well. And of course, PP Khanna ji, Khanna sahab kahan hai? Okay. Now, सुभाष वर्मा जी, इधर आइए, इधर आ जाइए गोयल साहब के सर के साथ. खन्ना साहब, आप भी आ गए हो. You have to jointly honor all of you from the travel trade, from the industry to GP Upadhyay ji, our chief guest, who had been very kind since morning. He spent so much of time. I would request him to kindly accept a small token of appreciation. And he had been with the tourism also, with the education also, with the skills also, with all kind of verticals in the government of Sikkim. And additional chief secretary, he was very kind. He accepted my request and he had come over here. And of course, all the time, ji, behind the show, वो कहते हैं लड़ती फौज है लेकिन नाम जो है वो सरदार का होता है. Balkishan, my PRO, he deserves a small memento from your side, which he should get because he worked so hard. And आज सुबह भी ये 5:30 बजे से सब चीजों का इंतजाम कर रहा है. तो बालकृष्ण, we recognize him. Thank you very much. हाँ. Yes, he very hardworking and very sincere, very sincere. And Jasmeer Singh Chawla ji, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us over here today. And with these words, I would request, hello, lunch will be served here only, in this hall, nothing to go out. We'll give you here only. With these words, we would request Shri GP Upadhyay ji, the chief guest of today, who had been very kind to spare his valuable time to come and join us to share his vision with us and chief guest address.
I'll request friends just to give me 2 minutes, not more than 2 minutes, please.
Please settle down. Please settle down. Please sit down. Would you please?
Friends, good afternoon. And it has been a privilege for me to be here since morning. And I must say that I have picked up so many things from so many addresses. So many good points I have noted. And it has been a great learning for me personally. I feel that the discussion was very much focused on issues of starting a new venture, a new part of life after retirement for ex-servicemen. Of course, this is a very I have been dealing with the army and army officers, civilian officers. I've had a long career. I have still not. I'm still in service, so I have had the advantage of meeting so many people, and many of them retiring in front of me, starting so many things. I was in education sector also, and I can tell you I have seen so many ex-servicemen, ex-army officers, Air Force officers, naval officers, serving in very good positions in different universities. And their capabilities are not limited to, let's say, we talked about security and all. That is very true. They can work in every sector. And similarly, from all walks of life, I have seen people retiring and starting the new ventures. There are a few things I would like to just mention here because many things have already been said, so there is no point repeating them. A lot of good things have been said, and I'm sure there will be good collaboration. I have seen, in my own life, I'll give my own example. When I started service, my salary was about 4,000 rupees, the gross salary, and we used to get about 3,000 rupees carry home salary in 1987-88. And today we draw more than 4 lakhs salary because of the increase in salary and DA and all that kind of stuff, promotions and all that. Now the salaries have gone up like anything. I began my service in the railway Ministry of Railways as an engineer. I am from IIT. And then I left and joined IAS. And I can tell you when I left Ministry of the Railway job, I really felt the pinch of, passes not being issued to me. We used to get free passes for AC 2-tier travel. But then, as the times changed, we advanced, salaries went up, and, airfares nosedived. So today, just about 10 years after leaving my job, we forgot about all those passes and all because airfares became so affordable. And then somebody advised me to keep investing small amounts somewhere. There are so many schemes. I don't know whether our Army, Air Force, and other people they are investing or not. But I can tell you from my own example, after investing for last 30 years, today the corpus has grown like anything. And I think salaries are good enough these days. We get a lot of facilities from government. Some kind of financial training while being in service is extremely important. Apart from pension and other benefit that we get after retirement, I think this grows into a very good and very, very useful corpus of money. And there should be a very conscious and very, very focused attempt on the part of the armed forces, Air Force, Navy, to let their officers know about investment opportunities while being in service and invest. And you can trust me, it's a great, over a period of 20 years, 25 years, 15 years, it becomes a huge amount of money. And there are lots of opportunities available now, which were never before available to us. Secondly, when we retire, when we demit office, being in government, we are used to salutes. We are used to, a lot of sir, and all that. Good morning, sir. Good evening, sir. Once you leave the job or once you retire, these things are simply not available. So one has to be very careful about this. The attitude of a person is extremely important. I have seen many of the people not able to do very well despite being very capable, just because of this one factor that they are not used to. For example, you open a hotel or open a restaurant. Now everybody is an honored guest for you, your clients and all that. You can't expect them to tell you, wish you good evening and good morning. So this is a very important aspect. And even from IAS, I have seen very senior officers retiring, IAS, IPS, and thereafter going for jobs and finding it very difficult to adjust because they're used to all kinds of privileges. And after service, it is simply not available. Some very good suggestions have come regarding government support and all that. I think we can all together work on this. Government, I can tell you, is never averse to these ideas. Only thing is that we need to approach the right person in the right place, and it clicks. So I think with modern times of social media and tweets and easy to reach somebody, it has been never easy to reach somebody like today. The way we can reach a minister, we can tag a minister, we can tweet something, or we can send a mail. It will be replied. I have seen very big offices in the country. The mails are looked into, they are replied. Attention is paid. So things have become easier than before. So these are few points I just wanted to add to such a enlightening discussion that took place since morning. It has been great meeting all of you. I look forward to be in touch with most of you, and from my side, contribute whatever I can do. So thank you so much. Have a nice lunch and nice day.
Thank you very much, Shri G.P. Upadhyay ji. It's so very kind of you, having spared so much of time since morning and to be with us and to give your valuable views and advice. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy your lunch wherever you are. If you need any additional item, that can be served you right inside over here itself. Thank you very much. Thank you.